No, not tonight.
You really want to do that?
Let's see who's in. I have 0 people in.
Hold on, let me go over here. Hello and welcome,
I have
everybody.
0 people in.
Hold on, let me go. Hello and welcome, everybody. I want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I want to say hello to Don R., which was first, Pontoon Jody second, Fishing Fever is third. Fishing Fever, we did send you a link to come in. So, and we have a couple other links out there, so they'll probably be popping in as soon as they come up. And when we get more people in here, we will give you the idea of how we're going to deal with the 2 winners of last night. So until then, until we get more people in here, we're going to keep it a hush-hush thing between me and Robin. Anything to say,
Hi,
Robin?
everybody. Thank you for coming in. I see 7 people on right now. I appreciate you coming in for the recap of last night's show. This is to help better the tournament for next year and also to congratulate the winners from both weeks, along with getting some feedback. Pontoon Jody says, Avid, who's on your lap?
It's Cass.
Cass was the missing dog. Isn't that the missing dog from last week?
Yeah, the one who likes to bury herself underneath blankets and clothing and everything.
Yeah.
She don't care what, if it's any kind of fabric, she's going to bury herself underneath it. That's her comfort. That's her comfort spot.
Her favorite place is on Daddy's lap. You guys didn't know Avid was a dad, did you? It's a fur baby.
Oh, more than what, Jody? What's your news?
Oh yeah, what's your news, Jody?
Hi, Ashley Brady.
Hi, Ashley.
Jody's gonna be a grandma, a Meemaw.
Congratulations, Jody. You will be a Meemaw.
Congratulations.
Austin's coming in.
We'll gotta wait for his picture to show up.
I know that's Fishing Fever.
I know, but still, it's better than seeing the whittle of death.
Jody, that is awesome news. When's the grandbaby due? Or am I being too nosy?
No. Butterflies and Sunshines, welcome in. Shirley T, welcome in. Oh, no, we got 2 of them. They got to remove the other one.
Uh-oh. Let me tap this one.
I got him.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
Austin, hi. Happy Father's Day, bud.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Hi, Butterflies and Sunshine, Shirley T. I know Evan said hi, but I'd like to say hi too. So, how did it feel last night with your boat being found first?
With my boat being found first?
Yeah, the first boat to be found.
I was kind of surprised just because, you know, the chances of being first, you know, or whatever, but I wasn't like, it didn't like worry me or anything like that. Because I knew that it would be at least some time finding out which direction the boat was going. And then, but then when I found out, I didn't know, see, the first battleship, the anglers were able to stay in on panel even if they got sunk, right?
Yeah, but we changed that because it was harder for us to keep the game board and the giveaway tool to keep chat interacted.
Okay.
And we had to keep one of us had to keep backing out for that to happen.
Gotcha. So when I
And-
found out that if you got sunk, you were going to be off panel, then I was like, oh shoot, you know.
But that's the only way that's the only way it'll work is if we get one out to where we can have the giveaway tool and game board up there
Right.
on panel at the same time.
Right.
Because it's hard to keep having one of us back out, one of the captains back out, and bring that up.
Yep.
Right, because then we'd miss a call.
Yeah, it's got to be one of you two.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And we neither one of us want to miss a call because then that would screw up our keeping of the boards so that we knew what to call next
Right.
and
Right.
how to eliminate where a boat could be.
Butterfly says Austin found out how much he's loved.
You
Yeah, I really did.
Austin?
See, Austin, I will
You
give
see him?
you. I will say this. I was gunning for you anyway because I knew you were Robin's powerhouse.
Oh,
You
I
were
don't
on
know
the
about
fish,
that.
Even though you were on the
I-
fish.
I ended up finding the fish, but it could have been any of us. It wasn't,
No,
But
but
it was you
there's
last
there's
night. You
always
were-
there's always a certain amount of luck. We just never know how much it is, So
but last night you were the one that I was targeting on the James because I knew if anybody on her team was going to catch the fish, and the most of them would be you. So I figured I'd target you first.
He
Try
had
to
that
find your boat.
inkling. I knew that I had a great team. I wasn't worried about the teammates that you had. That everybody
No.
would be on fish at some point during the night, and they were.
yeah, they were.
But
Yeah, no,
your
I
boat
just
being found first sunk my heart. But I want to tell you, the pack that you had with Dustin and two stands that talked Avid into not sinking your ship allowed me to win last night.
Well,
Next time it ain't going to happen. I'm going
that
to.
that was Dustin's idea, and I think that was before I found out that if you got sunk, you had to leave panel.
Right.
So I wasn't even thinking about trying to come up with any kind of pact with the other team or anything like that before Dustin said something. And then when Dustin said something, it kind of clicked, and I was like, okay, yeah, this kind of
Run
makes
with
sense. Yeah.
Run with
So
it. That
and
was
then
a smart move.
yeah, and then, but I mean, and then talking to you about not hitting Dustin as well, because we had an idea, right? I mean, we already had 2 or 3 hits on Dustin, so we knew that he was going north and south. So
Right.
he was pretty much found at that point as well. And then right, the whole
And I could
point,
keep
the
that
whole
because he wasn't as hot as you were. He wasn't on the fish like you were.
Yeah, not at the time. It could have happened at any moment, we never
Exactly.
know. But but the whole point of the tournament and any live stream is for chat interaction, views, and
Mhm.
watch hours. So the more anglers that you have on panel, even if nobody is catching fish, then the more anglers you have on panel, the chances of you getting fish on the television is higher, which is
Right.
which is going to help keeping people watching. So it was behoove us as a whole live stream to try to find boats and not immediately sink them. Find a boat and then try to find another boat, and it's a delicate balance, because I know you were trying not to go over as far as the time goes, but you
Well,
want it to
that wasn't-
last.
That wasn't from calling out the numbers.
Right.
What held us over was the side chats, because we were trying to keep chat interaction and that giveaway name going to where we can have drawings every 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And me and Robin couldn't be heard when we was talking because everybody was talking over us.
Yeah, and that's I'm sure I did plenty of that too, and it wasn't it's not to necessarily talk over anybody. It's just friends being out there
Right.
and banter and whatnot, and chat enjoys that as well. Chat, because then chat will join that banter. So it's like I said, you'll never get it.
Street.
You'll never get it perfect.
Right.
So
Yeah, but for this kind of tournament, there has to be more of a balance to where we can keep a tournament like this going.
Yes.
yeah.
Because we do involve the chat so much that
Yeah,
we
we
do
had
have
the
to
chat
keep it
involved from
going.
the beginning, and every time we tried to spin the wheel, it was hard to do it because I was getting stepped on, and I'm like, okay, I just keep quiet. And the longer I kept quiet, the longer it took for the spin to happen.
Yeah,
Right.
and I know exactly what you mean. It's I think everybody that's been live with other people has felt that way at some point where they've wanted to get a point across or whatever, and they're trying to be polite, they're trying to let other people talk, blah blah blah, and then and it feels like it lasts forever.
Yeah, well, it does, but it's the outcome of the tournament that I'm always looking for,
Yeah,
and it wasn't going according to plan.
Yeah. It was a hard choice to when to mute and when not to mute,
yeah,
because I know that chat does like the banter between the anglers, but they also like the end to be on time. They want to know the finish. And so
yeah,
when we say it's going to be at, midnight, and midnight comes and we're not finished, that's on, of course, Central Time, 1 a.m. Eastern, then they're like, come on, come on, come on, come on. Then they want it all done and over with. And
Yeah,
angler banter,
yeah. At least a certain portion of people, and then you have another portion of people that they don't care if it goes over, and then
right.
and then another portion of people that if it goes over, oh well, they'll watch the last 10 minutes of the replay so they can figure it out.
yeah.
Um,
I want to say hi to Mike Sampy real quick. He came in, but there's also a comment for Butterflies and Sunshine. After I was happy that I didn't have the opportunity to hit Dustin after hitting Austin after hitting Dustin, I would have had to do it. And then she
yeah.
said, fantastic and fun game. Thank you all for making it happen. Which,
Oh, it was fun. It was fun. It was very fun.
I tell you what, if I'd have taken you out as quick as I wanted to, I'd have put Robin on the ropes and went through her ships.
Like I said last night, I would have been home for dinner.
you would have been.
I was.
You would have
It
been.
was still light out. On the East Coast when I had like 3 hits.
Yeah,
You know.
3 hits and Dustin saved your butt.
Yeah, he did.
And then I
He
found
did.
Dustin, and then he had the hits, and he was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And
Yeah.
the pack saved our team to where I ended up being the winning team captain last night because, the last 2 anglers, there's 17 people in the house, Avid. Do we want to let them all know how we're going to resolve this?
I'll wait for a couple more, see if a couple more people come in.
Susquehanna Stan, was it a bad idea having it during spawn?
No,
I don't think so, because
it was good because it was a numbers game, not weight.
right. It
That's
wasn't
true.
the size of the fish. It was basically, first of all, it was any fish over 1 pound, but we did keep track of any of them ones that were under 1 pound, so that if that rule dropped, we could then add that in.
Yep. And the James River,
I had
River's
I
coming
had to
out.
church this morning, but it was worth it.
I do have to say, the chat interaction last night was fantastic.
Oh,
I
it's great.
laughed. My gut hurt. My cheeks were like on fire most of the night because I was doing nothing but laughing.
I
And
know
then-
it was because, hey, Don R., we sent you a link in Messenger.
It was
Time for
fun, you
them.
know. And that laughter came from the anglers, you know, the banter between them and comments and chat, you know. So
I was trying to keep track of the giveaways and all those spins and everything for people and popping up the screens, and I was frantic
You
over
were a
here.
machine last night, and I'm sure that was a lot for you. But once I get more familiar with that, Evid, I will be able to help more with that. I would have been able to do that giveaway tool.
I-
I just don't have the plan that has the basement.
Yeah, and you
So-
don't have a laptop to be doing giveaway tool.
Here comes Lance, one of the
I
winners
got
of
it.
last
For
night.
FYI, Robin,
What's
for
that?
hey, Lance.
For StreamYard, you don't
You guys
have a
doing?
basement. I spent an awful
Good,
lot
good.
of time in the basement last night.
You sure did, Rhonda. Sorry.
Rhonda didn't know whether she's going to be on panel or in the basement.
Right.
But if we had more teams on screen and panel, it would have been better.
Hi,
But
Lance. Welcome
Don't get
in.
that all the time.
Hey, Robin, David, how you guys
Hey, how you
doing?
doing, Lance?
Good, good, good.
I
What
think
did
you're
you
going to
think of
like
last
the
night?
result that we have, or the resolution we have for the two that were left last night.
I want to go over that here in a minute.
Yep, I'm not going to go any further with that. And I was going to put in that I think chat will also be surprised and like it even more. Because
But I
chat
wanna-
was
wanna-
every much a part of this tournament as the anglers were. You guys made it possible, and they made it even
I
more
want to
fun.
thank all the anglers that partook in this. 'Cause
Absolutely.
If it wouldn't been for them, this would not have been possible.
No problem.
And
Appreciate the invite.
Yep.
you're welcome, because it's going to be a yearly thing. So the more people we can get into it, the better it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I want to ask Lance what he thought of this.
It was fun, actually. Interesting.
Interesting. In what way?
Just the the battleship. Using the battleship game as to eliminate anglers.
Well, I will give the credit where credit is due, and that's to Poncho and Jody. She had the idea, but she didn't want to do the tournament because she didn't know how much it entailed. She gave the idea to me, and I ran with it.
And you did.
And I tell
I'd
you
like
what,
to-
my mind just went crazy with the ideas. A lot of possibilities that I could have done with it.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
there's
sure.
still a few more. There's still a
Sorry,
couple more
Evan, I don't mean to talk
possibilities.
over you, but there's another angler in chat that I want to let him know that in the chat that I made for you and Lance Yakshore, there is a link in there that you can come up on panel if you choose to do so. You're more than welcome to come on up, and we'd appreciate if you would. Rebecca and Jamie's in the house.
There's
Like to
an
say hi
option
to her.
too.
And then Turtle Lady's also in here.
Turtle Lady. And I want to say
Can I
something
raise my
before I
hand?
go on. Rebecca and Jamie has an awesome store that they have created for catfishing. Carolina Lake Weights. If you have anything, check them out. They got everything you could possibly think of. They got drift weights, they've got rods, they got shirts, they got bait towels, you name it. They even have a site. So if you want to post it, Rebecca and Jamie, you can. You are a mods in here, so you can post your link.
Also, I'd like to ask Rhonda if she has the new boards for the championship up and available to show the chat.
That's what I was just going to raise my hand and ask if I could speak. Yep, I've got second week, or the first week here, second week scorecard, and behind that is what we're going to start with. So yes, it is up and ready.
Thank you, Rhonda. See, I knew she'd have it ready.
And you go into
No comment.
it.
Good job, Rebecca and Jamie.
Yep.
You plugged that. And then Yakshore, as soon as you can, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, Rhonda.
You were fine.
Okay. But as you can see,
Did you
we
want me
do
to go
have-
ahead and show now, or did you want to wait until
Yeah,
later?
go ahead and show them.
Yeah, share them now.
Okay. So last week we started out with this was basically the scorecard we were using and not on camera. This week we had this one that we did keep up on camera. And next round we would like to experiment and use this one.
That one is going to be a lot better. Hey, chat. People in chat, tell me how well you can see these new scorecards, new battle boards, compared to the old one that we had up. Give us a thumbs
Now-
up if you like this one, or a thumbs down if you like the older ones.
205 says, cool. Welcome in, 205 Wild Action. And give us your feedback, guys. This is the only way that we're going to be able to improve it and grow.
Rebecca and Jamie says love it. Fishing the People loves it. Yakshore says love the new ones.
Okay.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, they look good. They're a lot bigger than the old ones, and you don't have to get up on the almost up on the screen to read the hits and misses. So I like that.
And I can play with pretty dry erase colors all through the card.
That's
Yeah,
right.
dry erase is a great idea.
Give a kid a dry erase board and dry erase markers, and they go to town.
I can have all the
Ladies?
fun in the world. I can sit here and play dot to dot while you all play Battleship.
That's right. Lady Just Fishing UK is in the house. He's wishing everyone a happy or a great Father's Day, ladies included.
We have
And then,
JBT that came in.
hey, JBT.
Look, Gerald.
And there's Miss Pontoon Jody, the one that the founder of the idea of the Battleship tournament.
And she's going to be,
Good idea, Jilly.
she shared with us that she was going to be a new Mima. So
Congratulations.
she's going to be a
Jody.
grandma soon.
Congratulations.
And Mrs. Peters says dry erase is awesome just in case. Genius. That's what I thought
Well,
because
it's
then
funny. It's funny
Go
she
ahead, Brenda.
says that because I could have used dry erase on, verifying where the boats were supposed to be because we had a mishap during the show last night.
Of course.
And if I'd have had dry erase, life would have been so much easier.
and had I looked closer at it instead of just saying
We'd have figured
perfect,
it out before.
we would have figured it out. But because I told her perfect, one boat was moved up a square.
Which
And
actually saved you a hit.
yes, that actually saved me a hit. The hit turned into a mess, but it
That
still
could have been
didn't
a hit,
affect
but-
the outcome. Yeah, it was going to be a hit sooner or later.
It should have been because you said it was a hit, and that should have been stuck as a hit.
But it wasn't
that's
where
hindsight.
the boat was on my sheet. That's why.
Yep, and I said perfect to what she sent back to me. So we agreed that Rhonda was the keeper of the gate. We didn't.
You
call
did
her
a
that,
great
but
job. Rhonda, you did a great job. You really
You
did.
did.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
after the show, I found out if I'd have taken out
Thank you.
Austin, I'd have ran
It
to.
wasn't Austin's boat.
I'd
was
have ran to Robin's
No, it
fleet
wasn't
like
on.
water.
It wasn't
Uh,
Austin's boat though, Avid. It was
We put
yeah.
a scorecard. Yeah,
If I-
it was
if I
on Yak Shore. This box right here, underneath of Anthony, that box should have been yellow because this should have been moved down one whole row to this here. So when you call this block, she had it as a hit, where I had it shifted up to the second instead. It should have started C.
And you can see my scribble here.
I
is
went from
one of
B
the
to
pictures
F.
I sent to Rhonda, and then when I told her that she had Austin and Yak Shore's boats mixed
Wrong
up.
colored.
The wrong colors and locations at the first one.
Yeah.
Then she was able to fix it before the show. She sent it back to me. I, of course, didn't look that close because I saw that she had changed the name on the boat. And it was like, okay, that's cool. Or that's perfect. And what I should have looked for is to make sure that they were still placed in the same location. But that was the flaw. That was what was discussed in live chat. So everybody heard it. I wanted it to be transparent as to what that was all about. Because
Yeah, but you gave away too many secrets in that chat.
we have.
It still didn't help you.
We have.
No, I chose to be nice and not use those secrets against her. I was trying to be fair.
Oh, is Lloydie moving? He's still in the process of moving his home. I hope it goes well for you, Lloydie.
But next tournament, I'm not going to be nice and fair. I'm going to be ruthless. I'm going to sink every boat I find within 5 hits. I'm not going to let someone talk me out of it.
And I'm going to tell you, the reason that I ended up winning is because they didn't sink Austin right away. And you agreed with that, and I went with it, and it stuck to my favor. And I was like, "Go, keep going, Austin."
Yeah, Dustin, that was all Dustin's idea, and like I said, he come up with that, and that was before I knew that if you got knocked out, you'd be off panel. So, but when he said that, it clicked, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. You know, keep as many anglers on the screen as possible for watch hours.
There you go, Austin. A message just for you.
Fishing with JVT says Team Robin for the win.
Okay, babe.
Boom,
This
boom.
Cooper says, I'm sinking my husband first next time so he bring me my snacky snacks sooner.
Mrs. Fever, thanks for keeping up with us and letting him stay out late without your snacky snacks, because he pulled in numbers last night. What, 8 fish?
No, it was more than 8.
205, if you're on Messengers, you can send it to me and I can get it to Turtle Lady.
Next year I'll bring next year I'll get the snacky snacks. I'll go out before I go fishing. So then I can stay out as late as I want.
That's funny.
I kind of stopped counting last night, but I thought I might have hit at least double digits. I thought I hit at least 10 fish, but maybe not.
You might have.
More than 10.
It felt like a lot.
I think you hit about 15, 16 fish.
From week 1 to week 2, one thing that was different is that the anglers did catch more fish.
Right.
So, Rhonda, can you show week 1 real quick? Okay, week 1, you can see on my board, which is the one up above, is I had a lot more colored in because Avid got to call a lot more numbers. It seemed that the chat wanted to attack Robin's team, and that's fine. I was all for it. I was like, bring it, because
I
that's
didn't
part
care
of
who
it.
get attacked, as long as they were having fun.
Exactly. And you can also see that, you know, thank God there were a lot of misses in there. So when Donar won over CFM, then Donar was the champion of week 1, and I was the winning captain. Then if you could show last night's, Rhonda, please. It looks a little bit different.
A lot different.
Yeah, because I was able to call more numbers on No BS catfishing. Anyone fishing? No. No one's fishing tonight on this board. We're just recapping from last night.
And we're going to give you guys a surprise recap here in a minute. A
Yeah.
surprise of how we're going to deal with the.
So one thing
final.
that I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. Go ahead.
We're going to give you guys a surprise on how we're going to deal with the finals.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it's going to be good. So with last night's, one thing that we did change is that we went to the wheel to identify for the chat who was going to be able to call the next coordinate.
Right,
And
right.
we alternated that. We went back and forth between teams, and that helped in the sense that it wasn't chat just picking one team over another, and it kind of made that more even. But then my team was catching more fish than Avid's last night, so therefore Avid's team got hit harder. And Austin and Dustin not being sunk right away kept that going. And that made it fun for both the chat and the save Curtis and the save, Austin, save Dustin. That all last night was funny as heck to me. I had a blast. And I'm not kidding you. The thing that we'll see this championship round is it is going to bring in even more fun because there is a big twist.
Come on.
And that's where I'm going to go to Avid.
Hold on. Let me get this set up before you do anything. Just keep them going.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, JVT, everyone was hitting Team Robin week 1, and you were part of that. And yeah, I still did pull it out because I had my ships better than Avid. But what we didn't realize, if you look on week 1, our bolt placement was very similar, but last night's really wasn't. Avid had a lot. He had a mix with his north and west, or north and south versus east and west, and I went more north and south.
FYI,
But there's week 1.
Austin caught 14 fish.
Austin, you caught 14 fish. Very good.
I knew
That
it
was
around
awesome.
14 to 15 fish.
Well, thank you, Rhonda, for keeping track of that.
I mean, I only
Also-
have here, I'll put it on camera. I only have 4 pages of notes to go through to find out how many. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. So, yeah, you had 14.
Cool.
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah,
And
it was.
every one of my teammates had a fish on board. And then Yakshore caught his PB last night.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest parts.
And another thing, Snake River got to 1K last night.
Yep,
Subs.
that was another one. Yep.
That
So
was one goal I was wanting to get him to is 1K.
So that was huge. And for it to happen, all that on my little channel of 190 subs, I couldn't be more pleased. This is me helping the fishing community, not only being involved in tournaments and in chats, but helping show out the anglers and the channels out there. I appreciate every angler that signed up for this because you guys made it possible for this to be shown. You are the first group that went through the battleship. You're going to be
You
part
guys
of this.
are
Is
the
going to be
ones that-
legendary.
You guys
This is
are the
gonna
ones
be-
that toughed it out and helped us find the flaws and helping us get them fixed. But
Huge.
you want to take down the game board?
Yeah, Lloydies, we are too.
And the game board's still up. Oh, my StreamYard is lagging then.
The game board's still up over here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
here, too.
let's see.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Yeah, it's up on my side too. That's why I'm sending it up. All right, I'm going to show you guys what's going to happen for the playoffs. And me and Robin had talked about this. And what we decided is this.
First, I have to say, Rhonda, don't panic. Don't panic.
I'm already prepared. You kind of prepared me.
Look at the names on the board. On that
It's gonna
wheel.
be it. I'm bringing the international man back that caught cats in the first tournament, CFM, Donar, Snake River, and Lance. And since it's happening, I'm going to let Robin have the first spin to see who she gets on her team.
Now, we didn't just pull CFM because he was international. He was in place too.
No, CFM, he was a tough competitor in week one because he was catching some bullheads left and right. He was a serious competitor.
It went down to Donar and CFM.
That's why we pulled him. It came
Hold
down
on.
to Donar and
Hold on.
CFM. Who are you talking to? So you ready to see who's going to be your first teammate, Robin? Robin.
I think she was busy with her dog.
Oh,
Sorry, I
Yeah.
had a dog loose in the house that wasn't supposed to be in. Those two don't get along. And it's not Dalton's fault. It's the other dog's fault. So anyway,
I understand.
I didn't want a dog fight at my
But
bedroom door.
Robin's going to get the first spin to see who
Hold
her
on.
first.
Don't not put up.
All right, I'm waiting on you. Busy with the ponies. She has more than one pony, Miss Beaver. So, Lance, what are you thinking about this?
It's going to be interesting.
You're one of the final four.
Hopefully, Don R's on the other team so I can beat him.
Hey, you guys are both in the same region, so actually, you, Don, and CFM are close to the same region because the only thing different is CFM's in Canada and he can catch a bunch of bullheads.
Yeah.
I'm back.
And that's
I'm
going to
ready.
be what's
Sorry
going
about
to
that,
hurt.
guys.
Whoops, wrong one. You ready?
I am.
And this will be your first teammate.
Okay. Hi, Brad. Thanks for coming in. Hi, Brad. It looks like it's going to be. Yes, Lance. Welcome to Team Robin. I hope that
And this
doesn't
one will
disappoint
be-
you, Lance.
Nope, it don't.
Hold on. I gotta get a clean sheet of paper so I can keep notes.
You went nuts.
I'm sure Rhonda's writing it down.
I know, but I still like to keep notes too. So
Yeah.
Oh, first.
Rhonda's
That
probably
way
got
it
a
don't
list
get
of
confusing.
Rhonda's probably got a list of license plates from people that have cut her off driving down the road. She writes down everything.
She does. And I didn't erase that one, but if it lands on Lance again, I'll just respin it. But this one's going to be mine. I'll take Snake River.
Snake River. I'm gonna miss you, buddy. Don't forget to take Lance off too.
I should have done that when he came up on the spin, but I can't do it now.
Okay.
So just between CFM and Don R. If Lance comes up, I'll remove it and respin it.
Okay.
Ready for your next one?
I am. Let it happen.
Nice.
Yes, CFM.
CFM.
That leaves me with Don R.
That is correct. Yes.
Oh, you
And now
got your
we
wish,
can-
Lance.
If
Why,
you look
did
at the
Lance
game
say he
board,
wanted
Austin
Don
was
R?
right.
What was his wish? Say what?
He wanted Don
If you
R
look
on the opposing team.
If you look at the game board, you'll see that Austin was right.
What was Austin right about?
And she writes down everything.
Oh,
She's awesome.
now here's.
No, this
Did
will
you
be.
tell them the other twist about the boats?
I'll let you tell him that one.
Okay. Here's the
Go
kicker.
ahead.
Each angler is still going to be an aircraft carrier. But not only are the aircraft carriers going to be on it, but 3 other ships are going to be on it. And we won't know hits or misses as to whether it's an aircraft carrier or a different boat until we actually sink the boat that we're hitting. So it
Okay.
could be
It's gonna be
The
like
tugboat?
Lance is gonna have on one. Lance is gonna have one panel with 3 boats on it with him. Sean, Don R, and CFM are gonna have each panel with 5 boats on them, or 3 boats on there with them.
so
It's
each
gonna be
angler
like
is going to have their own
Destroyer,
board.
a tugboat, stuff like that. But the only boat we're going to be targeting is an aircraft carrier. And like Robin says, we're not going to know which boats we're hitting until they're sunk,
So
right?
So my scoreboard's going to have, I'm going to have 2 scoreboards for mine, one for Lance and one for CFM, and you're going to have 2, one for Sean
Right.
and one for Don R.
But we're going to keep it simple in chat. Whatever letters and numbers are called, it's going to be it's going to be simple. For whoever we're firing on Robin's team, it's going to be for both boards, and same as mine. Because we're going to keep it simple instead of trying to do 4 different calls for 4 different boards. Does that make sense, Robin?
Yes. So each angler is going to have 4 boats on board, or are they going to have 5?
They're going to have 3 small boats, 3 small
And their
boats, and 1 aircraft carrier.
Okay, so it'll be 4 boats. We were tweaking it right before we went live, guys. So this was something, you know, it was going. We tossed a few ideas around. If you saw Avid's poll, it was picked between who caught the most fish. Well, Hawaiian Fisherman and Snake River each caught a fish. Mrs. Beaver, not yet. We do not have a date, time, and all that set. That is something else that we are looking into. We will notify you as soon as we do. We may even have it by the end of the night. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
See that? I waited until you had a mouthful of a drink.
You want me to burn up a laptop and a desktop I just fixed?
Okay, Travis. No BS says I'm still confused. So, if you see on the top, it says Robin and Avid.
It's going to be a 4-panel battleship.
I'll have 2 of those boards, one with Lance's name on it, one with CFM's name on it. Avid will have 2 of those boards, one with Sean and one with DNR.
Right.
So when we call up, go ahead and put the CFM back up, Rhonda, for me just a second. So when it's a hit against Team Robin,
Both those boards would be up.
a number and letter called, it would still be either Lance or CFM that's getting hit. And Avid would clarify for his team which member of my team he's hitting. So if he says CFM A5, then Rhonda knows to go to CFM's board and color in A5, whether it's a hit or a miss.
Right.
The hits and misses are going to be 2 different colors. Again, we're not going to know what type of boat is hit because before they were only aircraft carriers. There were no decoy boats.
Now we're going to have 3 decoy boats and the aircraft carrier. And with this tournament, we're going to be doing drawings like we did last night on the giveaway tool. So when we pick your name, you pick A through J, 1 through 10. And we'll bring up the battle board so you can see what's been hit and what has not been hit.
So Travis says, I thought the fishermen caught fish and sunk the others. What's the deal with chat? Well, chat gets to call out letters and numbers too. They're a big part of this tournament. So it's not only catching fish, because what happens if the anglers don't get any fish? How are we going to find a sunk boat?
That's where the chat gets come in.
Chat is very involved in this tournament and can change it from one to another.
There is a 2v2 next weekend. And Turtle Lady and Don R have not been in that chat to help us with the stipulations. Welcome in, Yakshore.
Thanks.
Yeah, sure. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Would you like to tell everybody in chat what your accomplishment was last night?
I caught a fish.
Yeah, and what did it weigh?
I hope so.
I caught a new PB Blue Cat, 35.3 pounds. My previous record was right at 32, so crushed it pretty hard. That is officially my biggest blue catfish and officially the biggest fish in the Yakshore household. So
that was 0.035 pounds?
Yeah.
0.035 ounces for the new PB.
Yeah.
Awesome job.
Really proud of you.
Well, thanks.
All right, no BS. We will be doing on the giveaway tool hashtag Robin or hashtag Avid, so you know who's going to be getting hit.
Yes. So on the hashtag, the giveaway tool is used so chat can participate. When at the beginning, we don't do it as frequent because we like to see the anglers be on the fish. But as Susquehanna Stan says, well, is it a good time to have it during the spawn?
Yes.
It is, because if you're on,
it's a numbers tournament,
yes,
Right.
not a size tournament. So
It was a size tournament. It'd have been in August or September where the big cats are out playing.
Here comes Uncle Don now.
But there was a big cat playing. I caught it.
Yep. That's because
Don.
that's because the Tennessee and the James are coming off the spawn.
Finally,
Right.
man, it's been a drag.
Yep.
What's up, Uncle Don?
Pardon?
Hey, Uncle Don.
Hey, I was eating supper. I was listening.
Okay, so you're aware of what's going on and how we pulled CFM in. So it would be 2-on-2, and that you're going to be teamed up with hold on. You're with Snake River
Yep,
on Abbott's team.
I just
And
hate
Lance-
to see Lance lose again.
Lance and CFM will be on my team. I hope no one's disappointed with their captains.
And I'm going to say this for this tournament, for this finale, there is no 1 pound rule. All catfish count.
I think that's a good decision.
Because it's
So-
going to make it go so much quicker and so much faster.
Especially with Canadian fishing musician catching all those bullheads.
Yeah, that means I'm going to have to take him out first.
If you can find him.
I'll have to take him and Judy out first.
You know what? The chat decided last night. For me, I didn't have to sink Dustin because y'all know I love Dustin like a brother. He
Yeah, but you
Took
still
me in
sunk
it.
him.
he took me in his home when I went out to fish. He was my Joey for a tournament. Him and 2 stands took me on the boat. I met Austin while I was there. It was a great time, and I can't tell you enough. His wife Kelly is a sweetheart. Landon is a doll. He's my bud, and also his daughter just rocks. They
And we'll be
invited
getting-
me to his daughter's horse show, and they treated me like family. So if I would have had to sink him, which I would have, but I didn't have to. Chat did that for me.
But see,
Yeah,
I'm only
Freddie.
getting in touch with Dustin and
I was
see
gonna
if
say,
he can
let's
help with
be
this tournament
specific,
again.
Freddie.
This,
To help with Rhonda.
yeah, help with Rhonda and probably help me. Help on panel with keeping the side chats down while we do this
Okay.
interaction with chat with the giveaway tool and getting people chatting interacted.
Mrs. Fever, what does a Joey mean? Well, your husband happens to fish a lot alone, and you know how he is netting and fishing. Well, if anybody watched Brian B's show, you guys know I'm a little bit unstable, but I'm in a boat. It
Right.
is a pontoon, so I'm safe. And so I would have a Joey that would have a net to pull any fish in. Yeah, a helper, Cindy says. Or, you know, like
Okay. Go ahead.
when the rods were on Dustin's side of the boat, it was hard for me to get up quickly to get them. So it meant that I'd go, Dustin, I'm asking you to reel that line in for me. I can't get up at this time. My knee won't let me. So he was able to, and then he could bring me the rod.
Yeah,
So
it's
he was
someone.
helping me out with things I was incapable of doing on my own for fishing.
But
Yeah, it's just someone on the boat helping you. Someone throwing the anchor, someone putting bait on the hooks, whatever.
Maybe I'll start calling Austin my Joey.
Oh, I'm definitely her Joey.
but
Yeah,
from now
same with Mrs. Jack. I'm usually her Joey too.
Yep.
from now on, all boat anglers have to have a PFD. If the boats are moving or you're standing up, you have to have them on.
Please.
That's for your safety and our safety. because we do not want to see you guys hurt or injured.
Or a loss of life, which happened in Ohio.
We want to have this tournament fun, but we don't want no one injured, hurt, or killed.
I like the idea of that rule. That's a safe thing to do. May I ask what brought that on? What made you guys think of that for
We had it in play, but we weren't enforcing it. But a situation I'm not going to go into last night made it evident that we needed that in play.
Well, and it was in play prior to it happening.
But we didn't enforce it.
We weren't enforcing it as hard last night, but you did notice that I watched out and I was in contact with him.
Yeah, I kept watching him on panel 2. I'm not mentioning names,
But
he was almost sunk last night.
yeah, and he got scared. So the PFD, the director in Ohio of a fishing tournament, actually passed away from drowning. He was lost at Hoover Reservoir during a tournament, and he did not have a PFD on. So when I took the veteran out to fish on the Sandusky Bay that Roger had mentioned they needed boats for, I did go out there with my boat to take a veteran out. And that was one of their rules. And so Avid and I talked about it because I talked about what an uplifting experience that whole thing was for me. And that was one of the big things that I brought home with me. Not only was it fun to take a veteran out that is disabled and learn their life experiences, but make sure our fishing community stays safe.
But seeing someone taking on water on panel last night, that was it.
Yeah.
And that was time to say enough's enough. PFDs are a must.
That's what I was wondering, if something happened that I missed or whatnot, and I didn't know that it was a rule. I had no idea.
Rule, but we weren't enforcing it until we seen it on panel.
Right.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, if
the main
it's
screen,
not like
we were watching it in the basement and we could see what was going on.
Right.
But we weren't mentioning it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody that's got a boat, has one on the boat. So,
But have it on while moving.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, like last night, if you would have said, "Hey guys, can you put your life jackets on?" It wouldn't have been a big deal, Like, it's sitting there a couple feet away from us.
Well, and like you said, for most anglers, it's common practice. Obviously, it's state law in a lot of states, but for most people, it's common practice anyway. So I mean, it's just
Stan, it's a personal choice. So if you're in a tournament with us, it's going to be a rule. And if you don't want that rule, you can opt out, and that's okay. We're not going to handhold here, but we want you safe.
That is one
we love the fishing community.
We love the fishing community, but that's one rule we're not going to back down on.
Exactly.
Because we don't want to lose someone in a tournament over another boater's insolence, or if Mother Nature decides to play a wicked game of high winds and whitecaps.
Or pleasure boaters coming with a yacht down a no-wake zone at 50 miles an hour with to wash things overboard that you're not prepared for. What if your back had
barges around Austin last night? That was a good sign of what could happen. Even though he was a good ways away, but some anglers ain't that lucky to be that far away from those barges pushing those heavy.
Or weather can change in an instant.
Yeah. Well, it's, that barge was actually pretty dang close to me. It looks a lot further away on a phone, on a cell phone camera. But, you got to, when you see a barge coming, you got to think, okay, how are the wakes going to hit me? And then like I did it last night, I reeled in my lines and I positioned my boat where the wakes would hit me on the side and not directly on the transom of the boat.
Right. I seen you position your boat accordingly.
Not only did you position your boat, but your stance in the boat, you were able to counter those waves.
Yeah, and there was a
So-
couple times where I had a fish on and it was in the water at the top of the water and I was getting ready to net it, but I had wakes hitting the boat, and instead of going ahead and getting the fish in the net, I just stood there, wait for the wakes to subside, and then, you just got to be smart enough to know, okay, how good is my balance, and what do I have to do in this situation?
Right. It's all about the safety, and that's what we want to keep everybody safe.
Yep.
And like with Don R being at his age, we allow him to have a joy help him in case he needs someone to help him cast it or land a fish or
Of course.
whatever. We're giving in that way, but we're not going to be cruel. But with that PFD rule, we're not going to back down on that one.
And I see where Turtle Lady, what Brad says, pleasure boaters at night can be a fishing hazard. No sense. Absolutely. Turtle Lady says, yes, we carry them with us. I won't wear them unless I felt I was in danger. Why you always stay alert. Know your weather ahead of time. I've been fishing off boats and rivers and oceans my entire life. Again, Turtle Lady, that's true. But what happens if you're alone on that boat? You get knocked harder than you realize, and you're unconscious. And you can't get to your life jacket, and you are overboard. And this is on live stream. We can't get to you over the screen. I never, ever want to see someone drowning or off their vehicle or off their boat on a live stream. That is devastating. That would be absolutely horrendous for anyone watching. See,
That's devastating to watch.
Turtle Lady says she never goes out alone.
That's good.
Well, yeah,
Some
it's great
people-
to always have a partner.
Some
I don't
people
always
can't.
have that, but I always have my life jacket on too.
All right, who came back in?
Here's sure. Are you getting him in?
Yeah, I got him.
Okay.
Sorry
And
about
I'm
that.
not preaching. I just,
We're
For
not
the safety
preaching.
of
We're
all.
just explaining why we're doing this.
yeah, for the safety of
And-
all. And I'm sure the director of the fishing tournament didn't think that his life was in jeopardy that day. And his family and his friends and his everything have been devastated by it.
It's just something that we feel strongly about, and we care about everybody in the community, and we don't want no one hurt. We don't want no one sick. We don't want no one getting any kind of something bad happening to them without those PFDs.
Travis, and that's okay. I'm not going to count that against you. Do I still like you as a person? Absolutely. You are allowed to have your position and your beliefs, as we are.
I'm not trying to get anybody from not fishing our tournaments, but it's just something we've been talking about and thinking about, and it's all about saving people's lives, keeping people safe.
Exactly.
It's
On a
not-
happier note, I would like
Yeah.
to say my wife wanted me to point out for sure that she had a ton of fun in the chat doing this tournament. Obviously, I know she won a few more times than some other people, but she really enjoyed playing the game. And for her, I mean, she likes fishing, but she has a hard time watching some of these tournaments because, like you guys saw last night, sometimes the fishing can be really tough
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and whatnot. So being able to interact like that was a huge thing.
It's different when I'm sitting and waiting, but when I have to wait for someone else, it's a problem.
And then on top of that, she wanted me to point out last night, you guys may have said this earlier or addressed it earlier because I was getting the kid ready for bed and I may have missed it. But at the end where we were trying to, rapid fire or shotgun it or whatever you wanted to call it, where it was going so fast back and forth, because of the lag, most of us use StreamYard or a similar software to stream
Right.
to these YouTube channels. Well, there is a lag in both directions. So we were trying to be quick and trying to hurry, but
Yeah,
there's a lag.
I forgot
from
about
what-
the lag, and that was my fault.
Oh no, I'm just saying in general. Some people don't think about it. There is a lag from where you do the show to what the chat can see, and then there's also a lag from when the chat talks to when we can see it in the software, right?
Right.
Right.
So she made the point, well, rather than doing so many single shots, what if maybe we did like a double at some point when it's closer to the end, each call gets 2 shots instead or something to help
But
speed it
that
up.
That's a possibility, and I like that idea.
I don't, because 2 hits together could change
Well,
it.
she could do 1 hit on yours and 1 hit on mine.
Okay, now
Or
that
something like
should
that.
be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fair if we alternated. Here's a nice comment. Tidal Weight Sinker says, "Happy Father's Day to everyone today. Hope everyone's day was a great one."
But I like that idea she came up with, because towards the end, and we still got boats out there, we do double hits. One for
That's
the team
absolutely.
that was targeted, and one for the other team. It's good.
No, and I agree. Like, and even whether you split it or not, I mean, I can understand having 2 shots at once, sinking ships faster. But if you do it, that last hour is where it was really critical to try to get more shots fired. So at that point, even if you were doing 2 on the same board, it wouldn't be unheard of or necessarily unfair, because by that point, most of your boats are already exposed and people are aiming for them anyway.
Well,
So-
what we could also do is how Battleship at the end was just Battleship. So you put it in, and then it just respun it.
Oh, that helped too, for sure. But again, they're just,
We could
and I
get-
think the thing with you guys doing with the boards where, where it actually is just the board itself being called and then the shot is much better also. I think that's definitely an improvement for sure, personally.
Absolutely. Great point.
and- So,
It's definitely a learning process for everyone, I think.
well, right, and like she said, with it being the first tournament that you guys have done in this fashion,
It's really cool.
it's going to be a lot of kinks you got to work out, especially if it's something that's going to happen for years on end. She did make a point to say, though, she wished it would happen more than once a year. So I don't know what you guys ever plan on doing with that, but because it is such an interactive tournament, she thinks that it would probably benefit you guys to do it more than once a year, just because it does get the chat involved so much.
Hear that, Evan?
What?
So hear that, Evan? I said twice a year. Evan says once. Try to convince some folks. I like this
Hashtag 2 a
tournament.
year.
I mean, I'll
Hey,
fish
Abby.
in it if I do it more often.
Hey, Avid,
Is it up for
Yeah.
vote?
you could do if you did it twice a year, you could do one in like the fall where you got a good chance of catching a decent fish, and then you could up, instead of a 1 pound rule, you could do like a I don't know, like an 8 pound rule, or because you usually, I know for blue cats, they're gonna be roughly 8 pounds before they get into spawn anyways, that
Right.
as far as their age goes. So you could target
Thought about
fish.
that.
But not everybody has blue
I've
cats.
thought about that, but we're wanting to see how this finale goes before we even contemplate that. If you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Can we go
yeah, it
back
was
to
just
the
an idea.
twice a year?
Yeah. Oh, I've been playing with that thought, but I want to make sure this finale goes good.
See you, Travis. I didn't mean to tick you off.
Or what if now this might irritate Rhonda because she's done such a good job already making the boards. But but what if you got
Oh,
rid
why not?
of what if what if you got rid of the 10 column and the J row? Isn't J's the last one, right? So you
Yeah.
made
Yeah.
you made
1 through 10.
you made the board. You made the board. You know, I through 9 or whatever, instead of J through 10.
Well, with the way we're doing the playoffs, with 4 boats, that would be a little bit more intense.
Well, it would shorten the time. It would be less spaces available to have for anglers, you know,
Did
to
you
be
have
in.
less time fishing last night?
No, but
Okay.
you guys were the ones saying you wanted to meet the midnight deadline, you know. So
Yeah.
that was just an
Well,
idea.
that's an idea, something we can play with.
I
But,
also like Brad's idea. Every 10th hit, we could make multiple blocks hit.
Yeah, a missile to multi-missile to where you can hit multiple blocks.
Yeah.
But that would put a lot of work on Rhonda, though. She
I know.
would have a fit with that one.
Avid, you're giving me 4 cards versus 2, and you're worried about a workload? Please.
You can make it worse, Rhonda.
Yes, dear.
We could make it worse.
Ladies, sleep well.
Good night,
Hi,
Lordy.
David Smith.
I'm sorry that we got James mad about the PFD, but
That was not my intent. It was to show how important it is, because a life is an important thing. As well, we say, be safe.
I try not to share my personal things much, but I kind of feel like I need to share a story. My biological mother was 18 years old, graduated top of her swimming class, preparing to be an Olympic swimmer. The summer in July, after she graduated, she was with 3 friends on a boat. They had an inboard motor. The inboard motor was out of gas. They decided to put gas in the engine. The engine caught fire. My mother went overboard, and I lost my mother that day. No PFD, top of her swimming class, and she drowned in 8 foot of water. Cause of death, her hair was long and caught up in the grass, and she never resurfaced. So yeah, PFDs are a big thing for me, guys. Sorry. And I'm going to go quiet.
I'm not going to go any more on the PFDs because everybody's having
A fit about it.
a fit and chat with it and not understanding our point of view.
It's as the boat is moving. It's not while you're fishing. If you troll, then you'd have to wear it.
Just
But end of story.
right. It's just boats moving, PFDs on.
Yep.
If you stop, you don't have to wear them.
Right.
Simple, plain fact. But keep them handy to where you can grab them if you need them. That's all it is. But other than that, we want people to join, have fun. We want people to enjoy themselves. Hey, Shad Daddy, welcome in. And we
Hey,
want
Ronnie.
people to be safe. We want everyone to be safe, no matter what. Hey, Alan, shoot me a message. I want to get you back up on panel again for a follow-up.
Oh, David Smith, very good question. There is a reason behind it.
We have our reasons for that rule.
That's what
You
To answer that,
Right,
to answer that, to answer that
What's that?
question from my perspective, I think I forgot who it was that said it yesterday. It would be hard, especially if somebody's catching a ton of fish or dealing with a ton of boats, to be able to try to really think about what the numbers were and stuff. So for me, I was actually okay. Yesterday I was on the bank fishing. I probably could have done it yesterday, but if I was out in my kayak, I wouldn't want to have to deal with the letters and numbers personally. So I was fine with letting the captain take care of that for me, whether that be, whether that was intended or not. It worked out that way, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that is what you did.
You guys, whether you're fishing from boat or bank, you guys have a lot to do, and it's easier for the captain to call out the letters and numbers instead. You got a good point there, Turtle Lady. If he's going to stand overboard, he don't need a life jacket. He can float downriver like a something that goes down the toilet when you flush it.
Yeah,
sorry.
and that's what we found out, David Smith, is that because of the anglers, they're concentrating on fishing. They're not concentrating on the call out board. And
Right.
because the chat
I
is
was
so
going to
involved.
say, week one, we did allow the anglers, and we got the feedback from them, and they all said it was difficult to follow along. It was easier to let the team captains follow and make the calls.
That's why we're doing it this way, letting the team captains do it, let the anglers worry about what they or take care of what they need to do on the bank and on the boat. Because it's hard for them to follow along. It's hard for them to see the game board or the battle board or whatever you want. Actually, just call it the battle board instead of the game board. But
yeah,
it's a lot easier for the captains to do it because we can look at that battle board, we can keep track of the hits. And it's easier for us to follow through and for the chat to see it. That's why we tried to make the boards bigger for everybody to see it.
Stan, are you saying that I can't think something is funny that I found funny?
He makes funny things about us, so why can't we make something funny about him?
So why do you get to choose what's funny to me and what's not when I can't choose if you wear a life jacket or not? Just saying. Sorry, that was low blow.
But we will be having more of these. And Austin, I love the idea of doing one later in the year. And if we keep in touch with me, Austin, on Facebook. All right.
I don't have a Facebook, but I'll get your number one way. I'll just get your number one way or another, and
get it from Robin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can give you my number, and we'll do a 3-way, and we'll talk about more of this.
David
And
Smith has a
get
good
you
point.
and Dustin and
As a chatter's point of view, well, I have to say it was fun to watch with Austin catching a lot of fish and Yaxter getting his new PB.
because I like that second part of this because more
Thank you,
input
David.
get on this type of tournament, and more help we can get with my side of it. It'd be great. All right, Tim. Give me a minute.
I agree.
Me too. I think I
We
need
need a
a go
commercial.
beverage.
I need to get something to drink. I'll be right back.
All right, Austin. I appreciate all you coming up and giving us feedback. Yeah, sure, you've made great points. Mrs. Yak did. Lance, you coming up. It's awesome.
After he comes up, erase that link. Robin.
I was going to pin it.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
You would too, wouldn't you?
Yeah. You bringing him in or you want me to?
I got him.
I'm learning to ask because last night we did a lot of double clicking.
I had
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Tim.
Let's change the chat a little bit and let's get a little fun in here, okay?
Thank you.
Please do.
Newsflash. Austin, I hope you're back. Fishing fever shakes John Parker's hand at CatCon and goes on a catching spree. Oh, wow. That's just Twilight Zone stuff there. This news flash has been brought to you by 1-800-RENTAFISH. If you got a live show, a 1v1 or a tournament coming up, call 1-800-RENTAFISH for a successful show. Let's go to the endorsements, all right? Snake River says 1-800-RENTAFISH even delivers to the West Coast. Thank the fishing gods. Lance McCoo guy says guard dog attacks all ships with no mercy. Catfish Curtis says, who made me Admiral Curtis? Salute me, you jabronis. Let's see where we at here. I lost somebody somewhere.
Uh-oh.
Steve Mosley says, come on, 1-800-RENTAFISH, deliver in IndyCar speed. I know who I lost now. Yak Shore says, thank you, 1-800-RENTAFISH, for my new PB. There you go, Yak. Congratulations, buddy. TSW Dustin says, I'm dropping shorts while I'm fishing. Multitasking is great. Two Stan says, bait, get your bait here, but you can only pay with Mountain Dew. Abbott and Robin says, battleship, no battlefish, battleship, no battlefish, battleship, no battlefish. All right, let's get it over with now. That's 1-800-RENTAFISH for all your fishing needs. And now, back to your program.
Tim, we're going to have more coming up, so.
That was great, Tim.
That was
Thank you.
awesome, Tim.
That was
was
amazing.
so-
Thank you.
That was so Avid and I.
You know, I got them all. It's kind of funny because I got them all written down here. And somehow, Yak Shore's not on here. And I had to have him on here because he got his PB last night. And it kind of confused me for a
You
minute.
messed up, Tim.
It kind of confused me for a minute there, but I remembered what it was.
Just wait for the playoffs.
Yeah, I get you. I got you.
Hey, and you'll be able to come up on that one.
Yeah, that's right. You'll have panels. You'll definitely have
You're
enough
going to have
panels.
Lance, Snake River, Don R, and CFM. Lance and CFM is going to be on Robin's team. Don R and Snake River is going to be on my team. And that gives you a window to come up.
And Rhonda will be up with the game board.
Yeah, and we'll have the hashtag board up here as well. So,
Well, you know, I always just hang around and chat for a while because that's where I get my commercials from. You know, I always come in and watch the live show and things happen and bang, hey, that's a good idea. Hey, that's a good idea. So,
Gray Wolf Outdoors came in, says, hey, y'all.
hey, Skip, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Skip.
Dad Daddy is also here. I
Hey,
don't know if
Shad
that's
Daddy.
Bill or
Daddy.
Ronnie. Tim, that was a great commercial. I do love them. You make me laugh each and every time because I can just see these things have occurred or occurred. Like you picking up on a Pink Floyd shirt that I wore.
Yep.
I mean, it's the little details that you come up with that you include that it's like, oh man, how do you know?
See, that's why the dog is always watching and always listening. And, you know, and it's kind of funny because I always got me a notebook sitting next to me. And when
Oh,
I'm
you and
watching
Rhonda would-
something, maybe not this, or if I'm watching somebody else's live or something like that,
Just saying, you and Rhonda would get along very, very well.
it gets written down and comes back later. Yes, sir.
and now we got to find someone to help Rhonda with the playoffs coming up.
I will ask Dustin.
Hey, Rhonda, looky here. I got you, baby girl.
Anyway.
I got you. Looky here. Woo! Looky here. These are all. And not only that, then I got some in here too. I got you.
Catfish Dog is the male version of Rhonda.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Tim,
Yeah.
take a pick. What book would you like to use, honey? There's like 6 of them here.
Hey, I missed what does Rhonda need help with during the playoff?
She's going to need help with
And what's
paddle
going
boards on the playoff.
In terms of like physically being there helping with it, or like just on the stream talking?
Someone in chat to help keep track of hits and misses.
Oh, like
what,
on our?
what day is the playoff again?
We
We
haven't
haven't
set
figured
a
that
date.
out yet.
I mean, if it's a day I can help, I'm more than happy to help.
What days
You
are you
know, hey, if
available?
you do it, your wife can't be participate.
That would be awesome.
I
I
know.
appreciate it.
She says she knows. She's aware.
Okay.
I
It would
really-
be greatly appreciated, Jack Shore.
Yeah, just let me know what day you guys decide, and if I can make it work, yeah, I'm more than happy to do so.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
keep,
now that I
keep
have
in
the
touch.
right
We'll keep
Anthony
you
in
in
the chat
touch.
room.
Yeah.
Because, hey, without two people confirming the hits and misses, Rhonda can miss one real quick. Especially when rapid fire goes, it goes so fast. And,
Well, I mean, look at the goof up we had last night, for example.
yeah,
Right.
look at that one.
Again, involved me as it did in the first week.
Hey, both of them were, hey, both of them were out
okay.
there, weren't they?
It was both of us, honestly.
Well, Rhonda, Robin, Rhonda, you know, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Few confusing names on panel, okay? You want to say Rhonda and you say Robin,
By
and
the way,
Rhonda comes
can I
out.
interrupt?
Sure.
Can I interrupt for a commercial break? These things right here, Dollar Tree,
Hold on
are
a
a
minute.
live streamer's best friend.
You gonna show them how
That's
to
why
make
you
it
should do
good
it.
For
luck, Ron?
10.
Sorry, I don't like laughing. I can't see shit right now.
They're two
Is that for the
different
wind noise?
sizes.
Yep.
Yeah, wind noises for the
Yes.
phones.
Yes.
Jerry Parker's got the video.
Yep.
Yep, Jerry Parker
But
does.
I just wanted to show you that these are what they look like in the pack for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. You got two different sizes. You just take the little plastic piece out, cut them in half, and put them on your phone.
No comment.
I just want to say it's sad that it's a Dollar Tree and they're $1.25. It makes me feel bad.
It does,
I
don't
know.
it?
They need to put that 1/4 up there, you know.
You can get them pretty
30-30
cheap
is
off of
in-
Amazon.
Yeah, but how cheap can you get with $1.25?
You can get cheaper.
I got
you
a
can
kid,
you can get them for
$1.25
that
is a
cheap
lot,
on
Robin.
Amazon.
Hey, Jody.
Jody, congratulations. Meemaw,
Congratulations, Mima.
welcome to the Grandparent Club.
JBG,
cool.
Sean, Stan, that's getting a little personal on that one.
Hey, Jody, Shanna says congratulations as well.
Whisker Dreams, welcome in. But we have the final four for the playoffs, the face-off. It'd be Lance, the Canadian fishing magician, and the reason why he was brought back wasn't because he was an international. He was the second to last boat from being sunk. Plus, he was also one that was catching numbers of fish. And
But it was
we
between him and Don R, who was
have-
gonna
right. That is week one.
win. Hmm.
What's up, Ricky
And now
Bobby?
we have- huh?
I was just saying hey to Ricky Bobby. Whisker
And now
Dream.
we got Snake River and Don R. On two, we got Lance and CFM on Robin's team. You got Snake and Don R on my team.
So who is going to be the winning team? Will Avid actually pull one off and win one? Or is Robin going to do a 3 sweep?
We'll find out. But chat is going to get started in this way earlier and make it go a little bit faster.
One
When
thing
we
I
first-
do want to ask is on Don R. He fished the first week. Yesterday, he helped in chat.
Right.
So if he's available and unmutes himself, I would like to know if he has any points of view as to what could help.
I'm waiting to
From
see
him.
what he has to say.
his viewpoint. Yeah.
unless he's still stuffing his face.
No, I think he's
There is
I don't
no
know.
hope for these other chumps.
No, he's saying to tell Mary's because he's fishing against me.
Can you speak up a little bit, Don? You're a little bit quiet.
Oh, a dog is raising so much hell that I was dealing with her at the same time. She was in her devil dog mode.
I can make it worse.
Oh, please don't mind sleeping.
Yeah, it won't be just your dog and Don's dog, but there's a few people in chat that have their dogs right close by too.
So no weight limit. Other than that, things pretty much the same.
Yep, we're taking the weight limit out of this.
So it's 2 teams, but everybody's against everybody.
No, it's
It is.
2 teams. You against Lance and CFM,
And Snake River. In
and
the
Snake
end.
River is on your team.
Right, I understand that, but we're going for last man standing then, or
Right, it's still last man standing.
so at the end.
At the end, we'll
So
split the boards up of the team that has 2 left. We'll split them up and let the captains rearrange them with Rhonda, and we'll keep going at it until one is sunk.
And you're going to have 3 other boats on your panel, and we won't know what's a hit, what's sunk, we will know what's sunk. We won't know if it's the aircraft carrier or
The
your
tugboat.
mountain boat until
so
we
after
actually
we
sink
think
it.
Lance and CFM, then Fishing Fever and I go against each other.
No, it would be you and whoever is on Robin's team that's left, or whoever's left on my team that's left.
Well,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. If we knock Robin's team out,
Then you would go
Then it'd be
against
you
Snake
and
River.
Snake River going against each other.
so
Okay,
it's basically every man for himself.
until the end.
You
No,
got to be
actually,
careful with that,
it won't
Uncle
be
Doc, because you don't
everybody-
want to
it'd be-
sink Snake River and you be the only target on your team.
We'll be
See what I'm
trying to
saying?
sink every boat on Robin's team, and if I have teammates, if we have teams left over on my team that hasn't been hit, we'll take a small intervention and split up the 2 that's left and reorganize where we want our ships, the aircraft carriers, with Rhonda before we pick it up.
Oh, so when there's only 2 boats left, we're going to relocate the aircraft carriers?
Yep, on the 2 that's left. You
Well,
get
that's
one
gonna-
and I get one.
So,
They got
what
hits.
they would have, yeah, you're going to mess up the misses and the hits then.
Well, it's either that or we just put them on
We
a
just
wheel.
play it out.
Oh, we can play it out, but how are we going to play it out when we got 2 people on one team?
Well,
Just
that-
like we would have last night if we would have continued until we sunk the
Oh
next
yeah, we
boat.
could have.
But
we
it
could
was
do
the
that.
time
I
factor.
think
This
when you
time
get
we
down
know.
to 2 people, it should be the one with the least amount of hits.
Well,
I mean,
and-
that's the simplest way to do it.
Right.
in that case, Uncle Don, that's true. But you also got to consider we have the chat involved in this. So you might have the most hits. He may have 1, but he may then go after your ship then.
Well, I'm talking at midnight.
By midnight, we're going to be having chat more involved every 2 or 3 minutes in call outs.
No, midnight my time is when it ends. 1 o'clock your time.
No, I'm Central Time. Central
I'm
Time is midnight.
Eastern. So it's
Robin
1 o'clock
is
my
1 o'clock
time.
her time. You're the same time zone as I am, Don.
Right. When we hit the end, if there's still 2 boats left, do we,
And what if neither one of them have been found, Uncle Don?
huh?
What if neither one of them have been found?
Well, that's what I'm just asking.
That's
That's
why
why I
I'm
think we
going
wait
to have
until we have it sunk in order to quit.
Samson. We have a giveaway tool that we put everybody's name in, and the winner gets a call letter A through J, 1 through 10. It's going to be started from the beginning of the tournament, and it'll be either against Robin or against Avid that those numbers will be called.
Yep. So you get to attack Robin or Avid's team. That's why we have the captains.
And it's going to be done when we first started, it's going to be done about every 5-10 minutes. Because last week we did this, and we did it every 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and it wasn't quick enough.
Yeah.
So we're going to drop it down to about every 5 minutes.
Are we going to start with doing, the attack Robin or attack Avid?
Mm-hmm. Then when we get closer to the end, it's just going to be Battleship.
Okay. And then that's when
And
it will be given.
That's where Rhonda and Yak Shore and Chat's going to have to keep track of who's being called out on the Battleship part when we go faster.
Right.
Can I make a suggestion real quick?
Sure.
If you want to give the 2 guesses for the spins, you could always have it where the person chosen from chat gets to choose 1 hit for each team.
We
Right.
could do that early.
We were thinking about doing that within about the 3-hour mark away from the end.
That would be a good one to increase the hits in identifying votes.
The other thing I had, like last night when people didn't show up to take their shots, rather than respin, just have the team leader call the shot. It'd save a lot of time.
Yeah, we could do that.
Oh, I like that suggestion.
We were so in trying to get this over with, we weren't thinking about that aspect.
Yeah, Mrs. Yak said that's a good idea too.
We weren't thinking
I
about that
like
aspect
that.
when at that
I
point
agree.
we were just trying to get this done, get it over with, and get it
I'm
going, keep everybody happy and keep everybody interested.
Yeah.
I'm an angler, so I'm unbiased. I just catch the fish, and y'all handle the rest.
Uh-huh.
Way to
You
go.
know, Abbott, I do got to say last night towards the end of the show when you were spinning and spinning and spinning, it got a little hectic right there.
Hey, you had been on my end.
I'm reminded of the ending of the first show where you and Robin just started calling out numbers as a regular Battleship game. I think that might work out a little bit better than the confusion that was going on last night with the
Yeah,
spin.
I think that would have been a better part.
Because the ending of the first week ended up the way it should have, playing just plain old Battleship, you and Robin.
Right.
So, that's something to
why-
think about.
That's why we want your guys' input,
Yeah, that's why we're doing these.
Tim.
Yeah.
And I forgot all about that when we got towards the end of that because it was getting hectic on my end trying to keep everything going and keep everything interesting.
Yeah,
I
because
completely forgot about that ending in week 1.
the spins were coming so fast that you really couldn't see the spin wheel going and this and that. And it probably would have been a lot better and maybe even a little less confusing and maybe a little more enjoyable for the people watching if you guys would just go straight to the Battleship game.
That
I
we
would say
can do.
especially at the part where we end up going over past the end time. That Victor would have been for sure a good point
Because
because
that's what happened in week 1. They didn't start the regular Battleship game until after midnight.
yeah, no, that totally makes sense.
Well,
because I mean, at that point, even though you want the chat involved, those people made the time dedication to be there until midnight for sure, and then at that point they're pushing their schedules, whether it be going to go to bed or get dinner, depending on what part of the world they're watching from, and so being able to get the thing to end so they can still get closure on what happened, but at the same time you've involved them for the first 6 hours, so it's not like you're ignoring them at that point. I don't think anybody would feel that way. So I think that I agree that would be good.
but
So thank you for clarifying that, both of you.
that's where we need help from the people that's keeping scorecards to remind us of things like that. Because when it gets close to like the last, say, 20 minutes before midnight,
It was reminded about 3-4 times last night.
I couldn't keep track of chat and what I was doing.
Right. And that's how, when Mike Sampi says, okay, I meant in chat room, we'll call people in chat room tournament, boat, or bank. Well, this isn't based on boat or bank anymore. We have interchanged the boat and bank anglers and intermingled them. So now it's teams. It's Team Robin and Team Avid, so that they knew who to call out an attack on, whether it was hitting Avid's team or if it was hitting my team. And you actually had to put in for it.
I know it was.
Because we can't create another chat room and keep a stream going and have giveaways and have the chat involved. David Smith says, it was so crazy. My wife asked me a question and my name was picked to name a shot, and I had to just type in something.
Oh,
I understand that. I understand that, David. But that's why we also created the visual with the scoreboard. And now
the battle board, that works out a lot better since we got a bigger board where chat can read it.
Battle board is visual for all to view, but then we had a complaint last night that someone couldn't even read the battle board because it's on the different panels, even though we would try to do it solo layout. But switching so many screens and popping back and forth, it takes toll on a person's device. After so many hours, it's a little bit slower and a little bit slower. So that's why we had anglers drop out once they lost, once their boat was sunk.
Right. That way we can have the battle board up and we can have the hashtag board up at the same time without having to drop the battle board down and bringing them back in and bringing them back out and stuff like that.
Right.
That's why we made the rule that once a boat is sunk, they step down and we can bring up both boards at the same time and not keep dropping them down.
And that's another reason why we have everybody type in what the hashtag was, because that means you're invested in that go around. That unless something happens in your life where you can't stick around, but that doesn't mean we wait for 2 or 3 minutes for you to come back. We're trying to get this rolling so that chat stays involved and active. And if there's a lull and there's no fish caught, we got to do something. And that's where Don's comment of let the captain call if the person whose name was picked isn't in chat and able to comment.
Or you could like only use chat to do call outs when there's lulls. If there isn't lulls, then it's just either the anglers or the captains. And then towards the end, it's just the captains doing the, like Tim said, just the captains playing straight up Battleship.
Right at the end, there was people taking wild shots, intentionally not trying to hit anybody from the chat. And that just prolonged it a little bit longer.
But
you can see that they weren't intentionally trying to hit someone on someone's team, but they were intentionally trying to hit someone else's team.
But that's again the involvement in chat.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's going to happen when you got 30-something people playing a board game.
My
You know,
wife said she wasn't going to shoot me, so that was part of it too.
Hey,
Well, you know what? Look, I got to be honest. If I was to have to take a shot at Austin, I'd miss. I'm
Yeah,
just
you
saying,
played that several
I
times
would
last
miss.
night. Hey, that's why I went ahead and sunk him.
oh man,
I
I
I
was
like JG
I
Hill.
sunk him to get him off the board because he was Robin's heavy hitter with fish that he was catching last night.
It's just like Austin, he put in their hashtag, one of his hashtags was Sink Austin, and I said, I can't believe you made me write Sink Austin. Sorry,
I was on like 4 hits for like 4 hours of that tournament. And
Yeah, the only thing that saved you was Dustin and Stan.
yeah, I know. Oh, I know. Yeah, it was
But next time, I ain't gonna be that easy on you. I'm gonna sink you.
Hey, Mark.
Welcome in, JG Hill. You had me
Hey,
laugh.
Mark.
Thank you for saying that. And yeah, I had the board game when I was little too, and I still have the board game from when my kids were little. That's how I was able to keep track of the scoreboard. I didn't have a sheet like Rhonda.
Well,
I actually had the game.
my great nieces and nephews wanted the board game because they knew I was going to use it for a catfish tournament, and they wanted to learn how to play it, and I let them have it. So I just went on the grid form of it.
Hey, Mark, what's going on, brother?
Hey, JG Hill, Captain
JG.
Crappie. But this is going to be a great tournament, especially if it's going to be every year. And if we do one later on in the year for bigger fish.
Hashtag 2 a year.
yeah.
You said the hashtag 2 a year.
Yeah, sure.
Can we put this up for a vote between the three of us? Because, like, you know, we are the ones that do the work, and Robin already said yes, and I'm good with it. So, Avid, you're outvoted.
No.
Yes.
Hey, I'm the one that makes it. I'm the one that does all the work behind it.
Hey, all the work? You sure about that?
Not all the work, but I do.
You'll just do it behind your back, Abby.
Hello.
I do majority behind the scenes, so.
My wife said if you guys do 2 a year, if I'm participating, she's more than happy to help if with the work, with
But not
helping Rhonda or whoever's doing the board.
Yeah,
but not to pay an actual challenge.
yeah,
Yay.
yeah. Have her get in touch with me and Robin on Messenger, and we'll put her in a group to where we can talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
That
I-
way,
just have her
we
put it
know
in
who
that.
we know who we got for support and who we can help us with the intricates of this.
What about me? You can only see my head.
But
Was that
everybody
Robin?
that just came in chat,
No.
we will have a playoff or face-off.
Yes, I
It'd
do
be
know.
Lance and CFM, Canadian Fishing Magician,
Team Robin.
against Snake River and Don R. And the reason why we brought those two back is to balance. The reason why we brought CFM back is not only because he's international, but he was also one of the last boats standing in week 1. But he was also catching a lot of bullheads at that time. And there will not be no weight limit. What, Robin?
I said, hi, MB Heritage Farms, real quick.
And it's going to be a good tournament. We got new plays in this face-off that we're going to be using in all the tournaments to help try to get this tournament ended on time. So it's going to be a major, hopefully it's going to be a major change.
It is. And I don't know if you guys understand. One aspect of it is how many tournaments involve the chat as much as this tournament has. I mean, sure, there were 3 giveaways Don R did for the chat.
I could have done more for his stickers like he wanted to, but it's just getting too intense over here.
Yeah. But basically, we tried to have about 6 call outs from the chat to call on the boards per hour. So with 6 hours of fishing, that's 36 different attempts to have the chat hit a boat or sink a boat. I haven't seen a tournament do that yet. I haven't seen a tournament that involved the chat that much.
I don't think I have either.
And then
No.
rapid fire, we were trying to do every 5. For the last hour, we were trying to get it to every 5. In that hour alone, that was 12 hits just there alone. So, I mean, so if you did 6 times 5, that's 30. And then the last hour is 12. That would have been 42 interactions that the chat would have had against plotting on the game board or the battle board.
I want everybody's vote on this one. Whose channel do you want it to be on? Robin's or mine?
Who had it last time, Avid?
No, Robin had it last night.
Doesn't
So
matter, does it?
I think it should be Avid's, actually.
I'd say he's the one that started organizing. I would say, yeah, it should be on Avid's. The nice thing, though, you guys have the paid thing for StreamYard, so you guys actually can stream it to both channels,
Yeah, you
and
just
the comments from
simulcast
both
it.
channels come in.
Simulcast,
So-
you get
If
watch
we were
hours.
to do that, to stream it to both channels,
You can do that. Yes, if so, when you
we could do it, but it would be hard for me to see who's on Robin's chat and who's
No,
on
no, no,
the
no.
chat.
StreamYard brings everybody into the same chat panel. Like,
No,
so
but
you're the
listen-
one. If you're the one that's
listen,
hosting it,
Listen though, Yak. You can get different chat on Robin's channel than you can from Avid's channel.
no,
Because
the
you
way
keep-
because
That's
they're
only-
on StreamYard,
Yeah.
because they have the paid one. If Avid does the main hosting and Robin's the guest, if you click the more button on the bottom of StreamYard, it'll show an option to stream to your channel. What that then does, anybody who chats on Robin's chat version of it gets pulled into StreamYard for Avid to see. He will see
Well-
all of the comments.
Sometimes
here's
it works
the
and
catch.
sometimes it doesn't, because we did that on March the 26th for Scott Day. We streamed all together, and I went home and watched mine, and my chat looked a whole lot different than the chat that was going on the main channel. My
Right. So the main channel will see everything.
Okay, here's the key though, Yak Short. Anybody in my chat won't be able to put in for the hashtags in order to call.
I didn't think about that
Yeah.
part. You're right. I'm sorry.
That's,
I
got
that's
you.
right. That's absolutely right there.
That's the problem. It's the hashtags and the giveaways that they'll be missing out on.
I got you. My mistake.
No,
And
and
we
that's a
were
good point. Yak
It's a
Short.
good point. I like that point, but if it was like a regular tournament for bragging rights,
I
I wouldn't
agree.
have a problem with it.
Yeah, it would work then. If you didn't have a whole lot of interaction with the chat, then it would work and you can both get watch hours off of it.
Yeah, Mark, I agree with that. Streaming to two channels, the host can see all the chatters, chat cannot see the other channel's chat, and it makes it less fun.
Yeah, I like it having on one channel or the other, and I have no problem with you having it, Avid. None whatsoever.
I don't mind. I love it. I love what we got going on every other week. It's being on each other's channel. And I love sharing
Absolutely.
the tournaments with your channel to help you out, to get you growing. And I don't mind if it's on my channel or yours. I just want to make sure before we get it set up and get the thumbnail made and
Should think about this though. Who's won the first 2 rounds?
That's why I give her the option of it being on her
Robin
channel.
has.
I
So
know,
Robin
that's why I gave
should.
her-
Robin
that's why I
should
gave her
get the
the
channel.
option.
Yeah, but I want more people. It brought to more people so that it advertises for future Battlefish tournaments. Catch that? Battlefish tournaments?
Battleship.
Battlefish.
Here we go. Oh Lordy, here
The
we
reason
go.
why I gave her the option is it's not because she won 2 tournaments. She's a young channel. I'm trying to help get grown out there, and I want to see her grow and get her content. I gave her the option of. That's why I asked that question. I wanted everybody's vote. Whose channel do they want it on, Avid or Robin? I wanted to
And I
have
say
your
Avid
guys'
for
input.
more.
Mrs. Yak and I also say Avid, just because Mrs. Yak and I both say Avid. Also, you have a bigger subscriber base, so it's more advertisement, especially since it's a growing tournament.
I'm still trying to give her.
I'm
You
fine
guys
with
understand where I'm
how
coming
slow
from,
I
right?
grow. I don't have to grow fast. I don't
Well,
have to.
right.
I'm not doing this for growth. I'm
But
doing
you're-
this because
It's also you're the one that started this. She's a co-host, and she knows that.
But she
And
will gain subscribers
that.
Yeah,
with the thing as well. It's just if you want to get more people for more participation and
Right.
get it more spread out, and if you get it on a no offense smaller channel, it's not going to get that much rolling down the hill type thing. Like
Right.
they'll still be able to see her and still be able to subscribe if they want, especially if they enjoy her personality like I do. But if you want more participation and more views and everything, you need it to go to the bigger fan base.
Right.
Yes.
I understand that. And
Because
I'm
it's
sure
a new
you understand
tournament.
where I'm coming from on my point of view. I'm sure you do.
oh, I do, and it's there. It's
Well,
The playoffs will be on my channel. Who'd we lose?
I got a bunch of plants I need to get in the ground yet tonight, so I'm gonna bug out of here.
All right.
Donna, I want to
Don,
thank
we
you
will
so
keep in
much
touch
last
with-
night.
We will
See you
keep in
later,
touch
Don,
with you on
buddy.
the,
Sure.
We'll keep in touch with you on the dates and stuff, Don.
Okay.
And like I said, we want this to grow, and I agree with it being on a bigger fan base. And yeah, we could do that. But I want to talk with some people like Austin. Where'd she go? She left.
Who?
I thought, oh, Jack, you're still here?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm still here. Don's the one that left. He had to go
Oh,
plant
okay.
some plants.
Talk to your wife and get Don and Rhonda in the chat and get some more ideas on how we can make something better. Because, like I said, all donations in this tournament will be split with the overall winner. And right now, we're looking at $60 that's been raised. And half of that will go to the overall winner, and half of it will go to the channel. So there is somewhat of an incentive there.
That means the winner could buy an eel and a half from Curtis.
Right.
Mhm.
So any winner can have a chance of winning this. Even one that don't get sunk. Don't even talking on panel or anything. They can get sunk. Okay, Lance. You're good.
Have a good dinner, Lance. And then Ponton Jody makes a good point. She says you always go with the bigger channel for tourneys. The more viewers, the better. Chat participation makes the live event a success.
I agree with that. But
agree.
I do too.
I had methods to my madness on this.
How many?
Now,
How
and
many?
I have
What was the peak concurrent viewers from last night?
I don't think it has
No,
Well,
that on Robin's channel, it takes 4 or 5 days for that to.
Yeah, but okay, but like rough. What was the highest number that you saw?
Rough. I'm going to say it was probably average about 30, 33.
33 to
yeah,
40
between
in
30
chat
and
at
35.
one time.
Well,
I mean, I've seen it up in the low 40s, and
Yeah.
upper 30s, and it
Yeah.
stayed pretty. I think it stayed into about 32 is about lowest I saw it, even towards the end.
It got
Yeah, the last
It
5
was up
minutes
to
when we were
36
delving out
around
what was
11
going to
o'clock.
happen, it went down to about 19.
The chances are all 30 of those people are subscribed to both Robin and Avid.
Good point. But on top of that, like she said, that drop at the end, that was the whole point with me saying, when you guys hit that midnight mark, that was the commitment people made to watch.
right.
And so you have the ones that can stay around for closure. But then, like you said, by doing it with just the captains or something at the end, then you're going to have that 10 minutes they catch up on later to figure out who the winner was.
Yeah, because like I
Yeah.
ended up leaving early.
So like my wife had ended up leaving early because it was, past that point. And then obviously I was driving, so I wasn't going to have it pulled up, stuff like that. So
Right.
You see that, Avid? Don't forget to figure in Google's and Uncle Sam's share. And then Jody has a perfect point because I'm a newer channel. I'm low in numbers. She can say, I
Yeah.
can honestly say, people asked me where to watch the tourney. They couldn't find it. I sent them the link to watch. Thank
Yeah,
you,
I
Jody.
got that figured in, Mark.
My
I'll make
sister
up the difference
Jody,
on that.
always sharing people out. I appreciate you, dear.
And I do have a PayPal on my About Me page. If people want to make donations there to the tournament, they can do it that way as well.
I think that we should put that in the thing too, because then that way,
It was
Um,
It was in the description last night, and I've
Yeah.
been checking PayPal link, and there was nothing done. So
because
yeah,
Toronto.
the one thing you could have also done is made it a pinned comment. I'm sorry, on the chat, because then
Pin it to the top. Yep.
people
yeah,
could
I
have seen it
didn't
when they
think
were
about
coming in.
that.
Because you know what? When you put it in the description, then you got to stop what you're doing and go down to the description and find
Right.
it.
I
Come
never do
back.
that in our chat.
Pin it. You know where it's at.
Well, that's what we need.
And I got to
some
be
help
honest,
on
a lot
input
of
on
our
that kind of
regular
stuff.
viewers won't go to the description.
That's true.
That's
Because
exactly what I
they
was saying to
don't- they
Anthony.
don't
I
really
don't
want to
ever go to the descriptions. I probably should, but I never do. When I get in the chat, I
Well-
stay in chat.
Yeah, because we had everybody's link from last week and the
For
week
me,
before. The links all in
it's a
the
matter-
description.
Yeah, to me, the description is for something for you to look at after it's done, because it's a
That's
pain
why
to look at
when
while
you
you're
guys-
going on.
When you asked for Snake Rivers, I stopped what I was doing to go get Snake Rivers link and share it for you.
Yeah.
See, a lot of times, if I'm going to watch a tournament, I'll go to the description first, even if it's halfway through the tournament. I'll go to the description first because a lot of times people put the rules to the tournament in the description, so then I know kind of what's going on before I go into the tournament or start watching the tournament, and then I don't ask a bunch of questions that would have been answered in the description. But I know,
Yeah.
There is that. You can go in there before you come in or after, but during it's kind of,
Yeah.
a pain.
yeah,
That's
Yeah, we
why
could
it's
also
good to
make
have
it a
some
banner.
modest
Sorry,
stuff.
I froze.
Welcome back, Rhonda. We could also
That-
make it a banner.
Sorry about that.
With the banners we've been having, that PayPal link would be kind of not helpful. But if we pin it in the top of chat for the PayPal link, that'd be great.
Okay, we can start doing that when we have tournaments that do this. So on the championship, make sure that do you want me to leave a comment and then you can pin it? I'll put your PayPal stuff in there.
If it's going to be on my channel, I can do it.
Okay, then you do it.
Because
You make the comment and then you pin it to the top.
right, I can always copy and paste it and put it in there.
Okay.
But if it's on your channel, we can do it that way too. So
Right.
copy and pin it.
Well, tonight we pinned Jody's channel to the top because she talked about Happy Father's Day. And I do want to wish each and every father out there, single mom out there, aunts, uncles, whoever is involved in helping the youngins. Jody's right, the youngins. God bless you and happy Father's Day.
Yes.
Austin, happy Buddha Day, buddy.
Happy
Hey,
Buddha
Tim.
Day, Tim. Yep, that's right.
You know,
My,
you know what?
speaking of
Since
taking care of little
since
ones.
Austin's on panel.
I'm sorry, Yakshore was asking something.
No, I was making a statement. I said, speaking of taking care of the little ones, my wife made a heroic pickup for my child who decided to dive bomb off the bed today. She can't walk yet, but she's been figuring out crawling, and she goes flying off really fast at things. And my wife actually hurt herself trying to catch this kid, so I was pretty impressed. So, yeah.
Make that sliding baseball catch.
Yeah, very, very similar. Yeah, she caught her by her hip.
You know what time it is.
Yay, Shauna.
Are we gonna do it again?
Yeah, the same one so Austin can hear it.
Where are we at here? Where are we at?
I heard it last time. I was in here.
Oh, were
Okay.
you?
Okay.
Well,
Then
we'll do it
pick one
again.
out of your
Yeah.
pile.
Do it.
And
Yeah,
the
do it.
grandparents. They do raise a lot of grandbabies.
Just pick
And
one out
call
of
me
your pile.
stepdad.
Anyone.
James River, I guess.
That's a
Ooh,
good
that's
one.
a good one.
Consider.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Austin is saying, do it.
I got to read through it real quick so I can get into the moment here.
All right.
Newsflash:
Anybody else have-
Whisker Dream shakes John Parker's hand at CatCon. Ricky Bobby, what were you thinking, bro? This newsflash been brought to you by 1-800-RENTAFISH. If you got a live show, a 1v1, or a tournament coming up, call 1-800-RENTAFISH for a successful show. Let's go to the endorsements. Fishing Fever says the fishing was so slow until an eagle landed in the tree and said, "Hey, you better call 1-800-RENTAFISH." Team Snag and Wister says 1-800-RENTAFISH always provides for our many, many, many shorts. Fish on Ed Evans says, if I'm driving all the way to the James River, I call 1-800-RENTAFISH ahead of time. Stan 3 says, what's that number? Stan 3, it's 1-800-RENTAFISH, but you don't need it. 2 Stan says, I'll take the $222 package. That's 2 flatheads, 2 blue cats, and 2 channels. Oh, this just in, 2 Stans has joined the 1-800-RENTAFISH family as head of the bait division. So that's 1-800-RENTAFISH for all your fishing and bait needs. And now, back to your program.
That's great, Tim.
That
You know
was
what,
good.
Austin, that one about you with the eagle, that fishing tournament that you were in and we were talking a lot in, and you told me an eagle landed in the tree when you said, oh, that's so cool, eagle just landed. That's the stuff I write down. And they go in
Oh, I know.
That's how that works.
Yep.
That's why Austin's good luck. He's got all the eagles flying in his favor.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm gonna have to hop out. So,
All right, Austin. Thanks for coming up.
yep. Thanks again for allowing me to fish the tournament. I had a lot of fun. You know.
Abbott, you can take me off full screen now. Let Austin say his goodbyes because I want to wave at him anyway. There we go. Hey.
Great commercial, Tim. Love it. I was in the Twilight Zone. You're right.
Yeah,
You were
that's
last night, boy. Woo, man. I was just thinking, fish on, put that on a reel, just push the button. Just push the button. You were definitely a catfish Buddha.
Yeah, I had the Buddha vibes last night.
You
I
were
definitely
definitely a
did.
catfish Buddha last night, no doubt.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'll
We
see y'all later.
appreciate you.
Congrats again, Anthony, on that PB, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, man. Congrats to you, all the fish. You were making some of us look real bad.
Man, that was cool. Come on, man.
You were the fish on
All right,
king.
y'all.
See ya.
See you later.
Later, brother.
People
All right.
have been left untouched.
Say it again, Evan.
I tried to get rid of him early last night, but
Thanks,
people,
Joey. That was
on
pretty
my team
funny.
was feeling generous towards him for some reason. And one
Well,
of the things
I will say, with the fact that it was, I mean, really, honestly, truthfully, it would arguably be a low fish count tournament. It would have dragged a lot harder because obviously this thing didn't end until the ships were sunk. So leaving him in a little bit longer, I think, probably benefited us more than anything because there's no telling how much longer the tournament would have been if you sunk him that fast.
I think that's why people didn't think him so fast because they knew that he was catching more like quantity, which got more shots.
it gave Robin's team more shots, but if I had taken her out, it'd have been a lot more even playing field.
I mean, and that's fair, but again, like my wife made the point last night. It is fishing, not catching, and there's that little bit of that was the struggle you guys would have had with this type of setup. Is if we'd have went out there and nobody caught anything. At the very least, you had chat giving shots out, but then you may have had to put other things into play later on to get the tournament to end on time. Still, so
Right.
I think it worked out. And like you said, also this is the first year, so
the last 30 minutes of the tournament, it's going to go to me and Robin and calling out numbers.
no, I definitely think that'll help out for sure.
Oh, for sure.
The last
Yeah,
30
I like
minutes
that
gonna be me and
too.
Robin just straight battleship.
Because that was fun. That got pretty hairy when it was Don R and CFM at the end.
You got real
Didn't you
hairy.
think so?
It got real interesting there real quick.
Oh,
I will
yes,
say
it-
the rapid fire at the end was getting kind of stressful, I think, for like pretty much everyone in the chat because we were all trying to pay attention and everything was going so fast. So I do think that the whole y'all calling shots at the end thing's gonna be a lot easier, possibly.
Yeah, because the last 30 minutes is gonna be just the team captains going at it.
Yeah, I
Tim
think
said,
that's a way better
that's the way
idea.
it should have ended, but it didn't, like it did
Yeah.
on week 1.
Yeah.
And that's where we need people like you and Rhonda, or whoever's helping in chat keep track of hits and misses.
right.
To
The
let us
end is
know
gonna
it's
be the-
30-minute mark. It's a captain's turn to just call out from here on out.
Yeah, and in chat, you know, you'll be a moderator. As a matter of fact, if you type something in chat, I can make you a mod now because I don't think you are a mod yet.
Yeah,
So
Mrs.
I'm
Atkins.
actually going to be on Avid, so it doesn't matter. But I'd still like you to be a mod in here.
Either one, we want you to be a mod, and we want you to help us control chat and keep chat clean.
Yeah,
Between
keep
these
chat clean,
tournaments.
keep chat going, keep chat up to date, keep chat just okay, guys. Who do you think is going to win? Who? You know, just ask them certain things,
Right.
pep them up, be a cheerleader.
Plus, also keep it PG for the kids that are watching.
Yeah,
She said she's more than happy to hop into that, but she's not the best cheerleader, but she's more than happy to keep the channel PG for people and stuff like that. Because she does have a toddler and keep an eye on the kid too and whatnot. But she would do what she can.
she doesn't
Yeah.
have to have pom poms. She
Yeah.
doesn't have to have a
Hey,
short skirt.
make her a super mod when she comes in.
Will do.
Because people like
Um,
that, we need to help keep both chats PG on
Mhm.
tournaments and then regular lives.
She just told me she wouldn't even have pom poms for me, so don't feel bad.
No, hey,
I just won't
think
sink
you
him. I
wanna
don't have. I want pom poms, but I won't sink him.
Oh, you won't
You know
have
what?
pom-poms, but you won't sink him.
You
Not
can't
like
sink
I
him
w-
now because you're going to be helping in the tournament.
I know, but I was talking about like last night, for example. Like I wasn't super like vocal about him last night, but I also didn't sink him.
True, true.
Hey,
And
but you,
I wouldn't blame Mrs. Fever. Although, who was the one that called out 2 of my boats that they hadn't found?
Was not me.
She
Miss Yak, but you won't get mad if I sink him, huh?
no, she wouldn't, because if you
No.
just sunk me, I'd have went home sooner.
It's a fair game at that point.
She actually
That's
said
how I felt about Dustin.
she
getting
actually
sunk like that.
she actually considered sinking me early so I could come home early
I did.
at one point. And then I caught that 35 pounder and she was hoping I'd catch another one because they tend to run in pairs.
Yeah, they normally do.
Try to give it a shot.
But all in all, I think it was a good night last night, a fun time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I enjoyed it.
I had a good time and I was actually surprised. One, I didn't lose a rod because I thought for sure I was gonna lose that rod with it at some point because both those blues hit it so fast. If I didn't have it somewhat attached to that rod holder, I probably would have lost it because I had it wedged in the rocks.
Well, I'm glad you didn't lose the rod.
Well, I got
mean-
a couple rod holders that I can get that are spring loaded that I think you'll like, Yak.
Well, the issue is I don't have, so most of the places I fish, there's nowhere to attach a rod holder. So I'm having to, wedge it in rocks and run the drag loose.
This rod holder, you can wedge it in rocks and they can go in sand, mud, and dirt real quick and easy.
Hey, have you ever heard of what is it, the sniper?
I have something similar to that for my carp fish and stuff, but they don't tend to work real good when there's a lot of pressure put on them. So with the carp
Right.
fishing, because their mouths are so soft, you usually run the drag really crazy light, and then on top of that, if you're using a bait runner, use it light too, because it's just the tendency of that type of fishing, right? Well, with catfish, they hit it so hard and they run so hard, and if you do set the hook, they're already pulling so hard on top of that, then that's where you end up losing stuff. But that
Ripping it.
particular spot I was at, because it was so angled, even with those rod pod type things, it's really hard to set them up and them not fall over just from just sitting there let alone when a fish is tugging on it too.
But see, with my
Did you
spring
see-
loaded rod holders, when this spring's load down on your rod, you're not losing that rod.
Well, I'm more than happy to give them a shot, for sure, because I'm always looking for new improvements on equipment, even though I'm broke. And that's
I've
probably
been
why I'm
using
broke. It's
these.
because I'm always trying stuff.
Did
Jack,
you
I've been using nothing but these for the last 15 years, and I've had my rods laid flat over in the ground in them, and the cats cannot get them out of the rod holders.
Well,
Did
like
you
I said,
see Ed
Right.
Evans' rod holder when he was fishing the bank today on stand day
I did not get a chance to watch that this morning.
at about 11:30 a.m. So it starts at 9, ends at noon. So 2.5 hours in, Ed shows his rod holder. Now it does involve monster rod holders, but I wouldn't mind shipping you a couple monster rod holders so you could put them in, something like that. If that's something you could do, just keep
I'll
me
check it out.
posted.
Okay,
And
I'll check it
if
out.
you can use some monster rod holders, I'm willing to give up 3 of mine.
Well, I actually have I have 2 monster rod holders and I have 2 SmackDown rod holders. So I actually have the holders. I just don't have the base is the issue. So,
Well, he showed a simple
You
base.
can make a base, real
Yeah.
simple.
Although he did have a
You-
friend weld it.
But I
don't know
can't-
if
I
you
can't
know a
weld.
welder,
You won't need to weld it.
okay.
But Avid has
You
a
can make
base
you
that
can make a base. You just need some
that is-
angle iron, and you need some a drill and some nuts and bolts and washers.
Okay. Well, either way, I'll check it out and try them out. I have no problem with that. This
But,
is definitely
I will send you a couple of the rod holders I use too.
okay. Yeah, I'll shoot you my address and messenger to both of you guys.
I tell you what, these rod holders, I have not lost a rod yet.
Works for
Well,
me.
you tell me if you need the monster rod holders, and I'll send you 3 or however many you think you need.
Will
They're
do.
blue and black. I bought them for my boat,
All right,
I got you.
but I have no problem sharing them. I have 6 on my boat. I can only use 3 rods at a time. So
I got you. Yeah, no, like I said, I'll shoot you guys my address and we'll figure it out. It's all good.
all right.
But yeah,
Yeah, because I don't want you to lose any of your equipment. Equipment is
No.
not to replace.
well, so I'll be honest. A lot of my stuff.
I know Yak sure does a lot of bank fishing.
Cover
And the
me.
rods I'm going to be sending him are made for banks.
But yeah, a lot of
Huh?
a lot of the rods I have actually were either won or given to me, right? So I'm actually not in the negative until I lose like 6 of them. So
It doesn't
Well,
matter. You still have
we-
your
we
favorite
don't-
ones
hey.
that you fish with.
that's true.
Yak, look,
That is
You
true.
don't want to lose one of them.
we don't want you being in the boat with fishing in Chad and FOA where they lost rods and everything in the river.
Do they know Zach?
You guys, we fish we fish with Catfish Viking, so we understand how rods get lost.
And phone.
And phones.
We,
Yeah.
we're trying to keep you out of that club.
Yeah, I got you. Zach, if you're out there listening, man, I love you, man.
Zach's a
Sorry,
good guy.
Zach, didn't mean it.
What's
Say
that,
what?
Tim?
Sorry, Zach, didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, yeah.
I meant it.
Zach
All
is
good.
a good guy.
That's
He is a
what I
great
like
guy.
For your wife, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Do what,
she's
Robin? I'm sorry.
I love your wife just because she can tell it like it is. I meant it.
Yep. Yeah, she's like that in all aspects of life.
I was really glad she liked my diva comment last night.
Oh my gosh, I died. I had not even looked at that, and I'm like, dang, she's right.
She meant nothing mean by it, Eva, just to point that out there.
It was all funny. I meant it
Abbott's
with love.
going back with, that's
kind
an
of.
old one. Which made me laugh even more. I don't know what it was about last night, but I found the whole tournament fun and funny. I
was
laughed more
great.
than I have any other time.
It was definitely fun. I had a good time. I'll be honest, I only caught about probably a quarter of the chat because normally there's only like a train every half an hour. I swear, those trains were nonstop last night. I was going nuts.
That's why we kept muting you.
No, and that's fine. I fully understand. I just was like, geez, are they ever going to stop?
And when we mute people, it's not because of sounds and certain musics, which give us claims that we don't need.
Yeah, that was another thing I was worried about last night. There was pleasure boats coming out of the lock nonstop. That's where I was fishing at, was the lock for where they go from the river up to the lake and back.
Right.
And there was definitely a lot of them coming through. I know for sure I missed one because I wasn't thinking about it, but I'm pretty sure the rest of them I was able to mute in time. So hopefully it doesn't cause you guys any issues.
I don't think it was you that I heard.
Well, either way, I mean, that's fine. Like I said, if you didn't hear it, I'm glad, right? But I was trying to keep a conscious point to remember that afterwards, for sure.
I barely remember half last night.
My wife said she barely remembers half of last night because it was well past her bedtime.
Yeah, well past her bedtime, and she didn't want to leave because of all the action that was going on.
Yep.
I sleep when the baby goes to sleep usually because we get up at the same time in the morning, and it was way past that time.
Well, I appreciate you sticking around for that.
Question is, Miss Yak, how much fun did you have?
I mean, I had a good deal. I would definitely do it again, but man, was I tired.
I mean, with as much fun as you had, did you want to leave or not?
It's kind of a 50-50 thing, honestly. Like, I wanted to because I was tired and everything, but like, it was worth staying up for, so I did.
Okay.
She said if you'd have sunk me, she'd have been off.
I would have, yeah. If he had sunk earlier, I probably would have went to bed earlier.
Well, see, Yak wasn't a threat to me.
Oh, I see how it is.
See, he put you in your place too.
Yak wasn't a threat to me. Plus, I considered him a friend. Nothing against Fish and Fever, but Fish and Fever is posing a serious threat.
Oh, for sure. He was on it last night, man.
He was.
And
that's fair.
I had him down to one peg, and Dustin said save him. Next time Dustin asks that, I'm sinking him. I'm not.
He was responsible for a lot of blocked up squares on your side there, Avid.
Yeah,
for sure.
Of them.
You don't have to scratch you off.
I mean, just look at that. Look at the difference in the numbers in the square in the boxes.
I know. I see that.
That 14 more that you got in yours is from one person.
Yeah, I know.
In the week before, my board was filled up because everybody in chat, because we weren't alternating, chose Team Robin to attack. But I still pulled out a win. What happened last night, Evan? See, look at that.
Dustin. It was Dustin saving Austin's butt.
Yeah, but I still pulled it out. Come on.
No, if I would have sunk Austin, you wouldn't have had so many calls.
Right. But see the difference in the boards? The top one was mine, and the bottom one was his last week. So see how many more?
Yeah, Austin gave you 14 more calls because I didn't sink him.
And I probably have 14 more calls on mine than you had on yours. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for this week. But I'm talking on the first week, I probably had at least 14 more hits on me. And that was chat.
Yeah, that's
not
chat.
Anglers.
But this week, it was all Austin giving you this 14.
Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
If I had sunk him early like I intended to do, the hit and miss marks had been more equal. Wouldn't you agree, Tim?
Yeah. Well, I think with him staying in as long as he did, it dictated a good pace of the show. Because if you'd have knocked him out early, there would have been not that 14 catches, and it may have been a slower show then. And
we could have made it work out better, but that 14 catches tilted the game in Robin's favor.
It may, it may have got it in Robin's favor, but I think it came out all in all in the overall show's favor of the fish being caught and being
Yes.
shown on the screen. Check it out, fish. I think
Yeah.
that was more important, really, than who got the
Ended up-
upper hand on it.
But I'll put it this way: in the playoffs, I'm playing the game the way it's supposed to be played, and no one's going to get me to save anybody.
Okay. In the playoffs, it's a different story. I agree.
Yeah.
Even in regular battleship from now on, because I'm not going to save an opponent for someone else and have them come back and bite me in the backside.
But he bit you on the backside in a good way last night, though.
No, he didn't.
No, yes, he did, because he showed a lot of fish on the show. Actually, he bit you on the backside in Robin's favor because he showed a lot of fish on a fishing tournament.
No, he
I
may
love
show
a
a lot
good
of
twist.
fish,
Brad, I love a good twist. He asked, who loves a good twist?
but next time there ain't going to be that twist. I'm getting rid of that threat early. If I know
If
there's
you
a
ask-
powerhouse on Robin's team, and I find his boat, I'm dropping him.
You ask who I said to Rhonda, who I thought I needed to take out first because they were catching fish.
Right.
And it was
Can I
Dustin
just throw
and Stan. Was it not?
Can I throw an
Rhonda?
interesting fact in? Well, can I throw an interesting fact in? I just went through all 4 pages and counted, and Austin caught those 14 fish, but Avid's team together only had 8 catches.
Uh-huh.
So had Austin been taken out sooner, yes, it may have been a different outcome.
Yep.
I told that to Avid too.
I knew that.
I agree. I
I
agree
knew
with
that.
it. Could have been
I
a
knew-
different outcome, but it could have slowed the show down a lot too.
I knew as soon as I let Austin on,
Very much.
stay in, I was done. I knew that as soon as Dustin had me save Austin, I just lost my chance.
Brad
Just,
says for the show, it was a
win it.
great show. Thanks,
Oh,
Brad.
it was a great show. I'm just saying, in my point of view, yeah, Austin was a good angler and he was bringing in fish. But for the battle fish part of this thing, when I didn't take out Austin, I lost a chance of taking out Robin's team.
Whose team?
Robin.
Okay, I thought you said Rhonda's team.
No, I said Robin's team.
I
lost a chance.
don't agree with that. I don't agree
I
with
do.
that at all, Avid. But I also, my point is, the show
Is that
would
it
have
was
been a
good
lot
for the
slower without.
tournament.
It was
It was
better
good.
for the tournament. I don't disagree with what you're saying at all. But the outcome of last night's show was better for the whole show, I think.
I can
I
see
agree.
that. I see that, but it's the board game as
Yeah.
well as catfishing mixed in.
What I liked is that other people that were in chat saw what I was doing with my calls.
Oh, they seen what I was doing until I was so kindly asked not to
No,
sing
no.
somebody.
They were able to look at the grid and they could see why I was calling what I was calling.
You were covering
I
five
understand
spots,
that,
five
Brad.
spots with one shot.
And Brad has a good point. It's not about winning or losing. The show is about entertainment and involvement. A lot of positive.
Yo, there was a lot of positive there. Just it's still about the game too, even though it's about entertainment.
Avid wanted to win, guys. That's what it comes down to.
It just, you can't always be one winner all the time. That's all I'm saying.
I
Yeah,
will lose once in a while, Avid.
No, I'm just
There's
saying
no doubt about it.
if I would have done my game plan last night, it would have been probably a different outcome.
I don't think so.
I do.
No, I
Because-
think I don't disagree with Avid on that. If he took out Austin right away, it could have been a
His
different
team
outcome.
still only
It
caught
would have
eight
been a
fish.
different outcome. It would have been a
Mhm.
different outcome
Yeah,
because
it
it
would
would
have been
have
a
slowed.
different
It would have
outcome.
slowed the show down, though.
I
Robin
No,
may
think
have.
that's where That's where the interaction in chat would have picked up.
That's where chat saw what I was doing, and they were playing the game with us.
Right.
And so when they didn't want to call one of the anglers on my team, they purposely called a miss on my team.
Yeah, they did that one deliberately.
They did. But that's
And
part
it
involving
showed.
chat. They did that a lot, Tim.
Oh, I was guilty of a couple of them. I didn't want to hit
Well,
nobody. I really did.
No, you attacked me and you meant your calls when you attacked me, but when you attacked Robin, you
And
guys
that
did
happened
misses.
not just Tim, though. Tim isn't the only one who did
I
that.
know. I'm just giving him a little grief like I always do.
So in their eyes, they had a team they wanted to win. They had a team.
Yeah, they wanted your team to win, and if I'd have taken Austin out,
I still would have won because the chat was still doing that.
yeah,
No
but
matter what.
I think it would have changed the tides a little bit.
And at the end, I knew where all your boats were. You only did because chat hit the 2 missing boats.
Mm-hmm.
I hit the boats.
Chat helped you hit a couple boats and find a couple of them.
One out of the 4.
Brad, there will be each player will have a
3
different
extra
board,
boats.
and there will be 3 extra boats in it. There'll be 3 boats plus the aircraft carrier.
But the key thing is they're only sunk when the aircraft carrier is sunk.
And the only target that we're after is the aircraft carrier.
So we may hit the other boats, but if it's
You might get lucky and hit an aircraft carrier. You won't know until it's sunk.
exactly.
It could
And
be the first.
the boats
it
out
could
there
be
will
the first
be
boat
2,
you hit.
3 hits and 4 hits, and then the 5th hit is the one that has 5 is the aircraft carrier. So you could
Yeah,
think,
we got
okay,
2, 3.
I got this.
Yeah, we
Then
got
it'd
the
be the
destroyer. We got what other boats in there? We put the destroyer in.
Yep.
We put the aircraft carrier in.
We put the tug in.
The tug in.
Right.
That's what. And the aircraft carrier, that makes 4. Right?
No, you got the destroyer, the tug, and the aircraft carrier right now.
So we're missing 1 boat.
It was the destroyer,
The sub?
the tug. No, it was between the destroyer and the tug. I thought we were deciding for.
Did you get the battleship in there?
The aircraft carrier is in there.
There's an aircraft carrier,
What is
a
that?
battleship, a
Yeah.
tugboat, a
The
gunship.
aircraft carrier is the one that we're.
Ship,
Here.
cruiser, submarine. There's what they are
There we go. Yep.
right here on this list. That's
Yeah.
the 5 boats in the original game.
Yeah, but we're only keeping the destroyer, the sub, the tug, and the aircraft carrier.
There's no tug. What's a tug? Is that a cruiser, a battleship, or a carrier?
That's the 2-hitter.
The 2-hitter.
The 2-hitter is the destroyer.
Right.
So it's the destroyer. It will either have the submarine or the cruiser, one of them, and then the battleship is the 4-pointer, and then the aircraft carrier.
Correct.
We have a 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yep.
The 4 boats.
So you're going to use the sub basically and get rid of the cruiser
Yeah.
just because sub
Right.
is easier to play. Okay.
If that makes sense for you.
Yeah, it does for me, yes.
Okay.
And from now on in tournaments, when there's a law, we're going to be doing more hashtags for the chat to get involved in calling hits.
Right.
And same way in the
That's when
tournament.
we can have 2 or 3 people picked, or the one person pick, one
Pick
for
two
each
hits.
team.
We can do a pick two. They can pick 2 hits, one on each team.
That's okay, Jeff. You're fine. He says, I apologize. I completely missed the show. I'll watch the next one.
You can always watch a recap or the rewind when it's when we're done.
Basically, we went over how we can improve the tournament and how we resolved Lance and Snake River both being the last 2 boats standing. They were on my team, so we resolved that issue. You can watch it so you can figure out what we did. Or you can wait for the thumbnail.
The thumbnail's going to be fun to make.
Oh, it will be.
Actually, it's going to be simple, but it's going to be simple to make it. We just got to come up with a date, and
I think it still should be in the evening.
yeah, 6 to midnight for Night Bite.
Actually, who's being carried over, since you're in chat and asking, is that Snake River and Lance will go forward to the final round along with Don R for winning week 1 and CFM for coming in second place. So the championship round, Team Robin is going to be, hold on a second, is going to be Lance McCougai and CFM, and Avid's team is Snake River and Don R. Thanks, Jeff.
Well, I'm going to play a lot more tougher game.
You realize with us having those fake boats in there, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call them, the extra boat, yeah, the distractions, that a lot more calls are going to have to be made, potentially.
Right.
But
and that's where chat's going to come in involved in this part a lot more.
Right.
With this tournament, with as many boats as going to be on these boards, we're going to have chat more involved than what we had the last two tournaments.
Yes, and then in the last 20 minutes is us calling out.
The last 30 minutes, it's going to be me and you
30?
calling them out.
Okay. And I think chat enjoyed that as well, because then that got everybody was on edge.
Right.
I know I was in week 1 when you guys were calling out numbers. I were going ooh, 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 because it felt like an actual battleship game at that point. So
yeah, because I was coming out strong.
We finished that one strong, and that's where I'm sorry I didn't remember that one. Remember that part, or we would have done that. But I was trying to keep things bouncing back and forth over here on my end.
Well, yeah, you bounced it so much that you bounced it so much that you broke your computer and your laptop.
My laptop overloaded, and now I put more memory chips in there and another a bigger RAM and another hard drive in there.
But yeah, so I mean, this is how we improved. We talked to the people, we talked to the anglers involved, and we talked to the chat involved and see what they liked. Are we going to please everyone? Absolutely not.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
You can't. Even though it's a catfishing tournament for the channel to watch, we still have somewhat of a game guideline we have to keep follow through with too at the same time.
Absolutely.
Because if you're just going to have a battleship tournament with people just catching fish and no one getting sunk, where's going to be the fun in it?
Yeah, how
There-
will it end?
Right? How's you? They're going to be people's going to be asking in the chat. It was a nice fishing tournament, but where
But who
was the
won?
boats getting sunk, and how was it going to end?
Yeah. This way, there is a deadline. There will be a champion at the end of this next one.
Yeah, we're going to keep this guidelines for all the battleship tournaments.
Yeah, I like that. Make sure you type them up.
And you going to do what?
Rhonda's probably got them all written down in that book already.
Rhonda's
do have-
probably got carpal tunnel after tonight.
After the last 2 weeks, and then then we added 2 more boards for the next game.
Right.
Y'all are just trying to make me an alcoholic. That's all. It's all good.
Hey,
What's your
no,
preferred drink?
I would say something to that, but I'm not going to. But I'm going to be nice to you, Rhonda. I'm trying to be nice.
For once,
Hey, at least I didn't call you earlier and have you come behind panel and throw you live without telling you.
See what Brad says? He says, I think you should add a first mate per team to the destroyer boat. 2-hit boat as your heavy hitting special guest.
It's an idea,
That is a great twist.
but the question
That
is,
How do we pick that person?
yeah, who would we pick for our first mates?
Because we don't want the anglers that didn't make it into this championship round to be ticked that we put someone else in and they didn't get in.
That's a good idea. Brad, I like that thought. You know what? Brad, let's run with that thought.
And do what? What are we going to add? How is that going to work?
If you're gonna do heavy hitters, you could have the 2 people that caught the biggest fish of that day be.
It's going to be like this. We're going to have one person on the team as our first mate on panel to help us figure out where to make the next call as a team. A team support, as you could say. And a special guest, if we pop them up, can come up for a destroyer or something like that as a support.
Or maybe he's talking about having your 2-hit boat have 2 people fishing it. So you get twice the fish on a small boat.
Oh, not for a playoff, no.
That's the way I took it, Tim.
For the playoffs, there's
Well, maybe not for the playoffs, but like for the regular game, your destroyer, which is a 2-hit boat, gets 2 people in that boat to fish. Your other boats get 1 person.
That means
There is
Your
no-
heavy hitters, your litty bitty boat.
that means
There is
more.
no-
Hey, that means I have to increase my StreamYard bill to a higher bill to get more people on panel.
No, because the 2 people would be in the same boat together. They could be on one camera, or they
Yeah.
could be on the bank together
Right.
on one camera.
Getting teams on one camera is hard. If you understand what I'm saying.
If you're close enough together, it'll work out a little bit.
Uh-oh, what
Because his
happened?
last
He had a suggestion. There he is.
He's coming back. I got him.
Sorry, I keep trying to. I open up the comments. I'm trying to exit out of the comments. I keep hitting the wrong button, so it's just taking me completely out. My mistake.
Yeah,
Go ahead with what your suggestion was. Yeah.
If you're wondering about who to pick for a second mate, maybe, and I know this sounds biased. I don't mean it biased. I'm just saying as a thing. You know, the numbers game is definitely the way this works. But with it being heavy hitters, maybe you should do for. I'm talking about for next year. I'm not talking about for right now. But like you considered maybe the guy whoever caught the biggest, 2 guys that caught the biggest fish could be the second mates for the guys in the final kind of thing. Big hit, big fish, big guns. You know, with the stipulations, whatnot, kind of thing.
I have
Because
an idea for a first mate.
Well, actually, that would be a good reward for getting the biggest fish in the whole tournament. If you get knocked out,
right, because then you can still be
back in
involved.
the championship round as a first mate.
No, I'm saying in the championship round, we each get a first mate.
Well, that's fine. No, you guys were just asking about ideas. I just was throwing it out
Right,
there.
and-
That's how you would determine how you're going to get your first mate. You're not just going to be assigned a first mate. The first
No.
mate will win that by getting maybe the biggest fish in the first week and the biggest fish in the second week.
And they'll be the second mates for the 2 guys that actually won that were last ships or whatever.
There you
Yeah,
go.
but we both have them. Both of the ones that we. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, caught one. And who caught one in the first week?
Well, you'd have to go back and look, but somebody did catch the biggest fish that week.
The
That would
biggest-
be their reward.
the
You know,
biggest
you're
I
not going to
have-
give them any. You're not going to give them any money or anything for catching the biggest fish. So the reward
Right. It's just
would
an
be
opportunity.
give them an opportunity to get into the finals.
Right.
But
It's
I
not.
think John R. caught the biggest fish, didn't he?
So then just go by, then you would just go by the second biggest fish at that point.
Rhonda would know. Rhonda would know who caught the biggest fish in week 1.
Go ahead, Rhonda.
Week 1, the largest fish I have on paper is 12 pounds. I think 0.34 was the ounces. And that was Shirley.
I think that may be right. I
Yep,
think
there you go.
that's right.
Because at a certain point, when you guys dropped the weight limit, everybody stopped weighing their fish at that point.
True.
So
Right.
even if there had been a bigger fish caught, I'm not going to know because nobody weighed it.
Right. So then that would,
We
you know,
still need to have them weigh anything that they think is over 40 plus pounds to get the
Fine.
stipulations into play.
Well, I'm just saying if this is something you incorporate into a future
Well, no,
tournament,
if you're
then
going to
you
do
have everybody weigh the fish.
fish caught. Yeah, if
Yeah,
you're
if-
going to do largest fish caught on that, you're going to have them weigh every single fish, not if
well,
it's
well,
only
not
over 40
necessarily
pounds.
because if you know, not necessarily because if you know the biggest fish at that point is 12 pounds, why weigh a 2-pounder?
Right.
If you get something like a 14
Well, yeah,
or
I
15
get that
pound,
point, but I
No,
mean,
then you'll want to weigh it.
Okay, but
yeah.
then again, if we go randomly by biggest fish, who says that we can get them on a boat with someone else as a first mate?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're doing it towards the end,
You'd have room.
you'd have room exactly because if you only have one guy, if you have only 1 or 2 people from each day on there, you had 6 people on there on the first day actually competing.
But,
Right.
So
but for
the
this,
biggest fish comes in or the person who caught the biggest fish comes in, would it be
He would basically be the second player or even just a third player because they're just playing as the extra boat on the team. They're not playing for the money. They're not playing for the end. So at that point, it would be 3 people per team on panel plus captains plus Rhonda,
but I'm
which
just-
would
but-
which would still be under your 10.
Yeah. For
And your
future
first mate,
tournaments,
your
that's
first
great.
mate, you would both catch fish and add your weights together. And then the other team with their first mate would catch both fish and weigh them all together, and the biggest weight at the end would win.
no?
But-
Because we're sinking boats.
What?
Well, that's fine. This is literally all you're doing at that point. Instead of having a bunch of dead boats, you just have an extra person that's adding extra shots. That's what
Yeah.
that's what the
So
first mate
another
is.
angler helping the
No, the design of the first mate that I'm looking at is to help the captain coordinate shots. If they're
So
on
he-
panel fishing, they can't be a first mate. It's
Gotcha.
the first mate that we can pick for the tournament that can help us decide where we want to place our shots.
Well, in my opinion, that's not needed because you're going to have chat incorporating stuff. I think at that point you're just adding too many people doing shot, or too many
True.
captains basically. So I don't think that the first mate's needed in that sense. If you're
No.
wanting to get another fisherman on board to make more shots happen to help it move along, because you're eliminating how many fishermen are on board at that point. That would be just a
One.
guy that's adding extra shots for each team. He
Right.
can't win. It would just be extra shots for each team.
So basically, at this point, the person who won and is in the championship, they could choose their first mate.
Or you could spin the wheel.
Or you could do the biggest fish thing, which those are just options to do of how to decide the first mate. And like I said, if it were me, the first mate isn't needed to help to coordinate the shots. That's what the captains are for, and maybe even the people in chat or the people that are actually fishing in the championship for. I think the first mate literally should be helping the tournament move along, whether it be by extra shots or by potentially getting a big fish in to help a stipulation pop up. Because obviously, the less people involved, then less often those stipulations are going to trigger. And there was good stipulations.
That.
I was ready for it. I had the Barbie rod with me. I had extra baits with me. I was ready for it. But not everybody's going to be. Like, if somebody's out there only using shad, such as Dustin from TSW is only using shad, well, you could have knocked him out and not let him catch anything for an hour. Well, if that happens in a championship and he's in it, well, then it can really turn the tide really quickly, because at that point he's only getting shots fired if the chat calls for him or if the second person on his team has got a different bait.
And
So
Brad is saying the Joey is the destroyer. So does that mean when the destroyer goes down that the Joey stops?
If you're having it set up that way, then I would say yes. But again, if you're having it as somebody who's actually firing second shots, then I don't think he needs to be counted as just a Joey at that point. He should be counting as fish. And that's just to keep the show moving along, because you're going from.
I love the idea of that. I really do. But how are we going to make? Wake up, brain. That is something we're going to incorporate. We can incorporate that next year's tournament.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying this has to be done now. I'm just offering ideas.
We got to find a way to incorporate that in the next year's Battleship tournament.
You kind of have incorporated it this year by putting 4 people in the finals.
Well,
2 on each team. So you kind of have incorporated it already.
No, we just have 4 people that's trying to get one winner. We had to bring in one extra person to make a team, a complete team for the second. 2 complete teams so we can have one winner instead of having a 3-on-1.
And title, that's definitely
2-on-1.
Title weights. That's definitely a way that can be done too. Like I said, I'm just throwing more ideas out there. Whether it be the people that are fishing get to decide, or if they want to make it random, so it's not. One of the concerns that was mentioned was bringing people that weren't originally in the tournament in. Right. Well, that's not, like she said, that's not really fair to people that were in the tournament to start with, because they actually made the commitment originally. Right. And that's why I mentioned maybe doing the big fish or something like that, because then you're reincorporating people that were already invested in the tournament.
Right. That's why we
have actually done something in the tournament.
Yeah. I like that, because then it still doesn't knock them out, even though they fished. It's still, you have to watch till the championship round is set up to know if you're fishing again.
And let's just be honest here, it also eliminates the idea of, oh, hey, I fished this tournament, I didn't do well, but oh, hey, my buddy Bobcat's been catching 80-pound fish nonstop the past 3 days, and he happens to be free to fish this. I'm going to call him so I have an edge, right? You're not adding extra variables that could possibly consider sandbaggy or cheesy or anything like that either, because you're still staying true to the original crew.
Right.
Yeah, that's the key thing that I want to do, is stay true to the original crew.
Yeah. Keep the crew throughout the year that have been fishing the tournament and been catching fish and has been keeping it the way it is. So when you hold the next tournament, you have a guideline.
Well, the next tournament, you could bring more, a different crew in if you do first come, first serve on the signups. But literally for the terms of the roll off and the extra people, I would keep it for the ones that were actually there for day 1 and day 2, or day 1, 2, 3, 4, however this big this ever goes. Right. By doing that,
what I like, Austin was one of my first players out. He caught the most fish. He could come back.
Well, yeah. So you could either do
That
most
would
fish or big
happen.
fish, either one.
Yeah.
But either way, you're still incorporating the original crew. Or if you did want to let the people that did win the day pick, as long as they picked from the original crew, then that's still cool. I just wouldn't let them pick from the outside, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, we picked the 4 from last one from last week besides Don R. And we had 2 for this week, so we brought one out of, should say, the mothballs from week 1.
Yeah, but CFM was the other boat that Don was going against. It could have been
Yeah.
either CFM won or Don R who won. Those were the last 2 boats standing. So that's why we brought CFM back.
Plus, he was also catching a lot of
He was
bullheads.
catching fish.
Oh, he's catching fish left and right.
Oh, that's
And
another
that
thing I'd
was
mention
a
too.
That was a thorn in Robin's side.
That's another thing I would mention too. When you originally were discussing this tournament, I have no problem with bullheads being in it. Don't get me wrong here, but that's something that's not commonly used on catfish tournaments. I think that you might have got more people involved in it from the get-go if you'd have mentioned that bullheads counted, because there are some people that don't have a lot catching catfish. They can only catch bullheads that may not have signed up for the tournament because they might have thought it was only catfish. So I would probably make sure to make it a point to advertise that bullheads are legal next year also to get more involvement.
That's a
Anytime
good
I say
idea.
catfish, I'm not singling out the bullheads.
Oh, right.
They're still a catfish.
Right. I'm just saying, like, because the community kind of deems it as just blue cats, flatheads channels, that we probably should make sure we specify next time.
Yeah, we will.
Because I know
didn't
know
think
at
about
least.
that until now.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I think NJ might have been able to hop into it if it had been bullheads because he catches more bullheads than catfish. Typically, not recently, but typically that usually is his thing. And I know at least 2 other people that are the same story. They have spots that they can catch bullheads, whether it be the city pond or whatever, public water
Right.
still, right? But
Yeah.
they may not have the catfish there. The population may not be existent, or again, if the spawn's going. Obviously, in Tennessee here, it's way easier to catch a bullhead right now than it is to catch a catfish, as long as you know a spot, obviously.
Well, I know a spot
Brad,
where
I
I can
would like
catch a
if you
ton of
could.
bullheads. Huh?
He said, next one you guys do, hopefully I'll be able to fish.
Well,
That would be
Brian,
great.
We are thinking about one in the fall.
I will say if you do an all species, he mentioned an all species fish one too. The problem with that is you're gonna have it's gonna be really lopsided, right? If somebody's only fishing for catfish or for carp or something very specific, because all they have available or all is biting right then, versus a guy who's out there catching 2-ounce bass or bluegill nonstop, it's gonna throw it really wonky. It might end up being more confusing than it was last night with the rapid fire drawing because of how many shots could be getting fired at that point, which
But I
could
was
make the
thinking,
tournament.
wouldn't it be
What about
fun to do?
a panfish battleship?
Well, that's what I'm saying with the panfish battleship. Unless you made it so that it had to be a certain size, it might get really, really hectic really fast, like the rapid fire one. Because if I can catch 10 or 15 bluegill a minute sometimes on a good day, right? Well, if I'm
Right,
firing
right.
that many shots, well, that tournament goes from possibly being 6 hours to down to 30 minutes.
Well, and then he did say make the board a 20 by 20.
Well, even still, it's still only what? That's 400 shots.
400. Yeah.
I mean, if you have, say you have,
a panfish tournament, you can make a board bigger and add more letters and more numbers to it.
that's true.
And,
And
you have
then-
much more
Because I
spaces
know
that
when
you have to
Palmetto
fire at.
did the 500, which is, the all species, he didn't make it to 350 with all the anglers.
That's true. You're gonna have days like that. I'm just saying, but I don't.
Yeah,
If you find a day where everybody's hitting them that fast, if you have somebody trying to make 12 shot calls a minute on one team versus another team, it's gonna get between the hopping screens, between trying to get in chat involved. Still, your chat involvement goes way down to that point, which
Right.
kind of defeats the purpose of this.
Yep,
What about
he's
doing
right. He's right.
And
I agree
You
with
get on
that.
some
There's
kills,
also
you can just
Been
put it down.
fish tournaments where people like Don Euler catch 500.
Right.
Right. But what I'm thinking of is, what about a catfish and carp battle?
If you do that, you might get some more people involved that way too. I mean,
That would be
it's-
good, but that's something we can talk about in a group chat.
For sure. I think originally, because it's starting off so small, you probably should keep it relatively specific.
Right. But
Um,
let's keep the let's go with the ideas in group chat,
Sure.
because we're losing viewers right now because we're not keeping people in chat
Focus
and
on what happened.
intervene.
Yeah, we're down to 13. It's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Brad, you have my information. I just texted you the other day, so hit me up.
Yeah.
Let me know
Brad,
what you wanted to do.
I'll get a group.
Excellent idea.
Brad, I'll get a group going, or add you to a group, and I'll add Mrs. Jackshore to the group when she messages me on Facebook, and we'll get this going. And Tim, I might add you to the group as well if you want to be a part of it.
Well, it depends on when you guys talk because, I work overnights and sleep during the day. So
You're just like me,
We
Tim.
talk at all time of the day.
I'm about to say it's a 24-hour chat. It's not like it's a video or a stream. It's
We're
just
on
a
Facebook Messenger,
group.
so
Yep.
we're going to be on Facebook Messenger anyway in the group chat.
yeah.
I'd
So you can
love for
reply
you.
anytime you want to the group chat and throw in your ideas, and we can pass things out there.
All right.
I'd
All
love
right.
for you to come in to that, Brad, and
I'm going to add
put
him
your
to it.
ideas out there because you've had some great ideas tonight. It's
I'm
been
going to add
absolutely
Brad to it.
awesome. Of course, I
Oh.
like Rhonda's input too.
Abbott, I'm going to get on up out of here. Last question I got for you is, did you send my information to Snake River?
I'm fixing to do it.
Okay. You got my
I
size.
just had to wait for your last reply.
You got it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
Abbott,
just-
who am I supposed to give your information to? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. No, it was Fishing Fever.
Austin. Okay, thank you.
I'm about to say Abbott has me on Messenger. He can message me whenever he wants.
Yeah, but I'm trying to keep. Oh, Tim, are you on Messenger?
Oh yeah. I think I got you on Messenger. I'll look. If I don't, I'll get it.
Yeah.
I'll send you a friend request if it's not there.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
look.
just so I can add you to that group.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
'Cause I just added Brad to it.
All right, folks. You have a good night. Happy Father's Day again.
Thank
Yeah,
Now,
thank you.
I appreciate you all participating in the tournament, getting involved in the tournament, and helping out with, making for future tournaments even better.
You did get that, Brad?
Yep, he said he got it.
I just want to make sure.
See there? I put it up on screen.
And Mrs. Yak, as soon as you message me, I'll add you to the group too.
Yeah, I'll just add her to the group with the direct invite. No biggie.
No, I mean, she messages me on Facebook, and I can add her to the group.
That's fine too. Either way. She's already asleep, so
Oh,
I'll try to get her to do it in the morning.
all right.
All right. Perfect.
All right, sounds good. I will
Thanks for
catch
all
you
your
guys later.
input, Yak, and
Of course.
congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys hosting the tournament, and I appreciate you allowing me to be part of it.
Hey,
Good night,
you're
Yak.
more than welcome anytime.
Rhonda, good night. Robin, good night.
Good night, Tim.
Bigfoot, good night. And everybody
Night,
out in the chat, hi-yo.
Hold on, you didn't say it right. What's your tip of the night? What's your tip of the night?
PG now. But
Yeah,
if you have a garden in your backyard, here's a gardening tip. Hide your hose, because there's hose thieves out there. Oh, hide your hose.
See you guys.
Okay?
I had to
Have a
have
nice
you say
evening
that.
now.
Thank you all for being in here. I'm going to end the broadcast. We're down to 11. So good night, everyone.
So we got Brad Cardell in.